Welcome to the moving day edition of the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
Do you feel bad when you mess up the second word in a podcast?
Second fucking word of the podcast. It's already screwed up.
It's because we're on the move.
We're in a moving van, by the way, and this isn't our.
If we rock the van, does the whole set shake? Hey. It just comes to us jumping around the back of the van.
I like they cut to the
Here's the illusion. Ruined.
It's legitimacy. Now you know we're actually in a fucking van. We are moving.
I think they believe that we're in a van. What are we going to do? Buy the inside of a van?
So if you're listening to the audio version, they just cut to the outside of the van sitting in a studio. And we're sitting in a movie van. There it is again.
I think you can just see Burnie.
I'm the only asshole in this shot. What's up, guys? Hey.
So this week we got Gus.
Gavin.
Gus.
Bye, bruh.
Gus. Bernie. Gus. Hello, everybody.
So, I did that typical moving thing. So today was our first official business day here.
You look like a terrorist with a mugshot.
Hey, what's up?
You're like, you're this blank background.
So I did that typical stupid thing that I think most people do when they move. I got here today. I was like, I'm just gonna bang this out. I just have a couple boxes to put away. I start opening my boxes and going through it all. I moved a bunch of trash.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck did I bother packing all of this stuff and bringing it? Like, I found planning documents for events we did in 2011.
Throw it away.
Why the fuck do I still have
When you
that?
move, that's the time you're supposed to get rid of
I know, and I'm an asshole idiot.
Yeah.
I took all the stuff from my desk, got a box ready, and then pushed it all past the box into the trash.
Then your desk went like that.
I only took the queen, and then I broke the queen in half the day we moved, so I got nothing from the old office.
You have your Xbox. And
By the way, the first two items
I'm talking about the girls,
that I saw unpacked from the move, the first two items that the movers delivered, the first two were broken. I was like, this is a bad way to start this off. Yeah.
A
trophy and my desk.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I was freaking out because I couldn't find my file cabinet. I was like, I've got so much important shit in there. That was filled with trash. I think everything in that file cabinet I threw away today. Every single thing in there. Like Barbara was like, we need like a desk to put this thing on. I was like, well, my file cabinet's filled with stuff I need. Oh no, wait, it's not. It's literally a file cabinet full of trash.
So
just full of junk.
I had a bit of an issue before because I was like, where are we doing makeup and stuff? Because we usually do that before a podcast. And you were like, oh, it's by the stage. I was like, where's that? And you were like, it's by the control room. I was like, where's that? I haven't walked around properly yet, and I don't know where anything is. You actually had to lead me from Achievement Hunter to here. And then I got lost going back.
Then I was standing here.
I don't know. I
was standing here. We were prepping for the podcast, and I kept seeing Gavin reappear from different ways here. He's like, "How the fuck did I end up here again?"
When I came out the first time, the van was on my right, so I was like, "Okay, go around this way," and the van was on right. Went back, did it again. I came out over there. I was facing the other side of the van.
I love the fact that you can't even navigate by the landmark of there's a van in the
Well,
building.
there's black curtains all around it. I'm just peeking around different bits of curtain, basically.
I've gotten lost 3 times already since we moved here.
It's crazy how big this place is,
Yeah.
or just how much I haven't walked around
And
it.
just like some of the places are closed off that you can't walk that way, so you end up going around different ways, and you're just like, where am I right now?
It's like a new level when you get
exactly
a new map
like that.
for the first time. It's
You're,
like everything.
you're trying to find the clue, and you're just walking around like an
I haven't
asshole.
found the rocket launcher yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, here I am back at the multicolored Tiki hut where we eat stuff. I know I saw this before. I'll go this way.
What is up with that, by the way?
What's that?
Why is our kitchen Tiki themed?
I listen. They pitched it at one point. I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So it's now Tiki.
For a
themed.
while, there was talk about making it in a sandbox and filling it with actual sand.
Nope.
Which would have been the worst thing ever.
That would have been really, really, really terrible.
Yeah.
Some guy said it was Miles said that since it's like a grass like roof and all that we could easily convert it from like surf tiki hut into like Vietnam War village like that. Put up sandbags and
Like a
stuff
Game
like
of Thrones
that.
thing.
Game of Thrones.
What it looks like to me, just like old Mingin houses.
Can I ask you a question about Game of Thrones real quick? Can I ask you a question? You watched the show. You watched it last night?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
No spoilers, by the way.
No, it's no spoilers. Not really. It's not really. When the fuck is Daenerys Targaryen going to figure out that this eastern lands that she's in, all those cities are way better than anything that's in Westeros? She ended up in this city yesterday where they had these huge golden palaces, and there was all these people in these nice tunics and robes and all this stuff. Huge statues guarding the front gate.
What was it called? Meereen or something?
Marine, yeah.
Marine.
And the big gate opens and the dude rides out. This huge, enormous gate. That's way better than anything she's working her ass
doesn't
off.
know. She's never been to Westeros.
She's going to get back to fucking shitty King's Landing and fucking
Yeah.
Winterfell, which is like an
walk through
ice cube with a couple doors in it.
Winterfell's so messed up that it's messed up in the credits.
Yeah, it's well, she doesn't know. She thinks it's this wonderful place.
All I can assume is that one of the places we haven't seen is Casterly Rock. That place is just fucking amazing.
That's where the Lannisters are from, right?
That's where they're from. Everything must be made out of gold. That's all I can figure.
One would think.
I mean, think about every location with the Iron Islands. It's a fucking misery. It's like a drafty old
grim.
castle. They're eating snails. The Erie, you got to ride a donkey up 3 mountains to get to it. There's literally nowhere in Westeros that's worth all this trouble. Not a single place.
River Run seems cool. Big castle at like the intersection of 3 rivers.
River Run seems okay, and I guess where's the Princess Cleavage? Where's she from?
High Garden.
High Garden. And we
I
haven't
love
seen,
Princess Cleavage.
We haven't-
She's my favorite character.
Princess Decoupage. She doesn't really have much cleavage. She just has the big.
Princess Burrito
She's very
dress.
open.
She's always got that fucking dress. It's like an oval. Looks like you just want to put her in the microwave for like 3 minutes.
Anyway, I just want Daenerys Targaryen to figure it out. She's gonna get to Westeros to go. I just conquered like 80 cities that were way better than all this
Should have
stuff.
stopped at the first one.
No shit.
Conquer all of them.
I think their budget's going up. They showed all the locations in Westeros, and their budget has gone up since then. So now they can make these really awesome cities. Like before, when she was in season 1 in the Eastern Lands,
Well, that's why
it was
so-
all plains with a bunch of horsemen.
Yeah,
and it was
desert. and-
Every,
It's all shitty.
Every interaction with any city was just like a big wall, and they would send out a couple of people because they couldn't afford the extras or the shot inside the city.
That's right.
Did you see someone did a screenshot? They called it like Marine Twins. Someone took a screenshot of the city of Marine with everyone standing at the.
Oh, do they just have
at
a
the gate,
cloned?
and it's just like copy and pasted people all along the wall.
Really?
See, I feel like we should have mastered that by now. We mastered it for Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
it was fine.
The problem was that they're wearing like those brightly colored
Yeah.
clothes, so it's like, oh, there's bright yellow guy. There he is again. There
At
he is
least
again.
maybe like adjust the hue on the colors or
Yeah.
something.
Like they should
the
just
hair
put everyone
color
like
a
in a
little bit.
green suit
Yeah.
and then just like make it whatever color they need.
All right, I'm checking tweets now from you guys.
That shot though of
When do we make fun of Belfast?
What?
Thanks for talking shit about Belfast.
did we do that?
Didn't even say Belfast.
I had a tweet. I had
Oh,
a
that
tweet
might be a
the,
location that they use for Game of Thrones.
Oh, get over it.
More
I
like
did-
Bell Last.
I had a tweet from someone the other day. It said, "Just finished watching podcast 163. Totally with you, Gavin."
Great.
That.
On board.
So, I had a nightmare last night about moving offices. I had a nightmare that we were moving into our new office. Our new office, though, was a 2-story white Victorian house. And it was like old days, like moving into the Congress office. It was like Burnie, Jeff, Joel, me, and Matt. So we're moving into the new office, and Burnie and Matt have to leave for some reason. So I'm like getting the new office set up, and I'm like fucking around, and somehow I throw a match into the attic, and it like starts a fire. So I have to get the garden hose, and I start trying to put the fire out, and I put the fire out. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I don't realize that the fire's burning inside the house. I just can't see it. And Joel's like, "You did a really good job putting that fire out, Gus." And I was like, I probably didn't. So like I'm walking through the house with a fire hose trying to put the fire out, and I'm like, don't call the fire department. I don't want Bernie and Matt to find out. So I'm like trying to put out this fire so you guys don't find out. And then eventually like the fire just gets too bad and I have to call the fire department. They show up and you guys, Bernie and Matt, show up at the same time. And Matt's like, "Boy, this really sucks. Thank God we moved out of this building and all of our stuff's gone." I'm like, "What?" And I look around and it's the old office and it's totally empty. And then I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" So the first thing I did when I got here this morning, I was like, "We need fire extinguishers. Where are all of our fire extinguishers?"
Yeah.
I like started looking around, making
Threw
sure that
away
we
all the matches.
were covered.
Yeah.
That goes along with my fear of like every time I use my credit card, I'm always convinced it's going to be declined. Every single time I use it. Same thing. Every day I leave my house, didn't use a burner for a week, but I'm convinced I randomly walked around the house this morning and turned on burners, and I've now left them on. That definitely happened.
It's like the kind of being at work and realize you might left the iron on, but you don't own an iron.
Or the iron nowadays just shuts itself off. I used a hotel iron again in where was I recently? Vancouver. I don't know what people do with hotel irons. I really don't. Those things are just beat to hell. It's probably because
They fuck 'em.
who designed an iron? An iron falls over more than anything else in the world, right? I mean, it's like, have you ever used an iron and not knock it off the ironing board?
Like a
ground-
circle
I-
falls
Every
over.
time I use an iron?
Never knocked an iron off an ironing board.
I knock it over constantly. Maybe I'm part of the problem with the
How are
hotel.
you ironing?
I iron and then I put it down, and then somehow the fucking iron falls off. And
You don't
lands
have to
on the
put it on the ironing board. You can't
Yeah.
just let go of it in the air.
Don't need this for a few seconds. Whoop.
I hang the shirt
iron.
on a hanger and throw the iron at it. That's the way it works. By the way, I got a nasty tweet correcting me that I'm using the word incorrectly. I was saying decoupage, and the word is actually
Decolletage.
decolletage.
Is it?
Decoupage is paper mache.
Yeah.
What
I was a
do you
little
mean?
confused
A
for a second.
decolletage is like the upper torso of a woman. This
Oh, I
area.
actually thought you meant
Like the upper
paper mache.
cleavage.
No.
kinda.
Yeah, so did I.
You did?
because I'm
Yeah,
not dumb.
I never heard the other word.
He basically
Decolletage?
said that. I made a
Decolletage.
mistake, and then he was like, "What? You're not stupid as well?"
I know. I just thought it was a word that we all mistook.
I learned
That-
a word today.
Decolletage.
Beautiful.
Gotcha.
That's some hot
Oh.
decolletage.
That makes sense.
Decolletage.
That makes much
Does
more
it?
sense.
It
Like
does.
that.
If I call her Princess
and then show me,
Decolletage,
and then show me a picture.
I
of it.
suppose a Princess Paper Mache makes a little bit more sense.
So we were at to lunch
So thank
today,
you for correcting me.
and Gus was talking about how he's excited about all the restaurant options now we have near us.
I had which.
And it's funny because I had just listened to a podcast where you guys moved into the Ralph Ablanedo building, which was our previous office, and Gus was talking about how excited he was by all the food options.
Yeah.
But just like last week, we were out to lunch somewhere near the office, and he goes, God, I can't wait to be away from all these fucking restaurants.
I fucking hate every
I'm so
restaurant
sick
down
of
there.
them.
Well, the worst case scenario for that was when we moved from downtown Buda, which was 2 restaurants, and one of them they didn't have a menu. It was 2 old ladies that ran it, and when you walked in, they told you what you were going to eat for the day. I actually loved that.
What was the one with the fried chicken?
And then it was the other place. The fried chicken place was Garcia's.
I like that place.
It's still
That's
there.
in
It was
Buda,
just like
isn't it?
hot
Yeah.
sludge that was delicious.
It's melted cheese over fried chicken. I don't know how you go wrong with that. It's perfect. In fact, I'm sure Joel is hearing us talk about it. Is going to run down there and get some of it now. But then we moved from there to downtown Austin. You can't pick a place with a higher density of restaurants than downtown Austin.
Yeah, and it was right on Congress too. It was every direction was food.
And by the time we moved out of there, we were like, oh, can't wait to have, like we were talking, we moved into Ralph Ablanedo. We were
Yeah.
talking.
If you couldn't be bothered to walk to a restaurant, you could just cross the street and walk to a hot dog stand, and that would be like there were even places to eat in the street before you got
There-
anywhere.
That's true.
There were places to eat in the building we were in.
Right.
We were
Yeah,
We were
downstairs.
above a restaurant. You did not have to go outside. You literally just had to go out the back door, walk down the flight of stairs, and you were
I
there.
used to do that until there was some incident with the back door, like there was a dump out there or something, wasn't there?
Oh, no, that was like the alley back door.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like the office back
Yeah,
door.
somebody
towards
cut
there.
a cardboard milk carton in half and dumped it in.
No,
that was
what-
our first
Are you talking about like
week
poo
at the
dump?
office.
Yeah.
I think I'm remembering 2 different stories at once. There was also something that happened at the back door where the handle fell off the other side
Oh,
because
right.
someone tried to break in,
Right.
and then I was scared to go down that way.
There
from that
tends to
point.
be poo in the back door.
That was you
Nice.
and I, though.
Nice.
That might be the photo of you that has traveled the most amount of distance, which is you and I did a series of photos where we were floating in midair.
Yeah.
And I took 2 of them. I took one of you outside in the alleyway where you're like this.
Where the
and
poo
one-
was.
Where the poo was. And then one where you're in the back hallway and you're floating. That one I actually think is way better.
Yeah, because I was just in like between 2 walls, but kind of sideways.
Yeah, and you were like floating. But that one of you floating in the back alley has now Gavin free in what? In inappropriate
In
places?
random places, I
In random
think it is.
places. Or places he shouldn't be.
Places
Yeah.
shouldn't be, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense. Like some of them, I'm like popping up next to the queen or something, but then some of them I'm like coming out of a donut. Or it's like
Well, you shouldn't
Well,
be
yeah,
there.
you shouldn't be
any
there,
picture of
Gavin.
me could be coming out of a donut though.
But only some of them could be next to the queen, Gus. Only some of them.
Some of them are appropriate, some of them inappropriate.
I like that Gavin's just scrolling to his site called Gavin Free in Places Shouldn't Be. He's like, yeah. Oh,
No.
come on.
Oh, bollocks.
That's just ridiculous.
That would never happen.
But
I would
it's
never be coming out of a donut.
there's actually been a lot of people being very sentimental about leaving 636. That was earlier this week. There were so many fucking pictures that our people took of empty rooms and
Like-
just empty desks.
I didn't realize I had left 636 until the next day. I was like, oh, I guess that was the last time I walked out of there. Huh, oh, well.
Yeah, it's fun not being sentimental.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that.
Well, I mean, it's like this where we are now, stage 5. This is our 5th location.
There might be a first move for a lot of people, I guess.
That you mean from
For
the
the
audience
majority.
or from the
For the people
employees?
who work here, yeah.
That makes sense.
And the audience, honestly.
Like Brandon is very sentimental about the Congress office because
Yeah.
that's where he came to work. He talks about it a lot.
Wow.
That's not annoying
Piece of
at all.
shit.
Wow.
Brandon and the office.
But
they
to
knock
put
it
in
down?
perspective, that place when we found it, I think I'm gonna post some pictures of it. Like when we first moved into it, Thursday in my journal, I'm gonna put it up. And it was like when it was just empty. It was completely a warehouse. The only thing that existed there was the front office, where like the Achievement Hunter office and your old office, your office. That was it. Everything else was just blank
Is that why
warehouse.
there was that step down
Yep.
after that?
Even the upstairs didn't exist. That was open to the warehouse.
Yeah, it was
as
just
well.
like a platform. It was essentially like a storage space, like just to put boxes. And shit
It was a
there.
cement company.
Yeah.
That's what it was before we bought that building. So it's like,
Do we get any cement free with it?
no. It was a company who,
To do what we want with it.
from my understanding, it was a company, they have a big place on the freeway, and they specialized in making cement slabs for homes that are over 25,000 square feet. Those are enormous homes, enormous. And in 2008, when the downturn in the economy hit, that company built the building that we were in, 636. They built it to shrink their company into because they thought they'd be affected by that. But go figure, the economy crashed in 2008, didn't affect people who can build 25,000 square foot houses. So their business was just fine. So the building sat empty for a year, and then we bought it from them, and then renovated it big time, and then turned it into 636 and moved into it.
I remember seeing like construction photos from that building that you guys had taken, and it's on the network. So I took a bunch of pictures of this building being built, or I guess the inside being built.
Yeah.
No, this was essentially the same thing. The building we're in now. It was just essentially one giant room
Yeah.
that didn't have anything in it, and now it's got some shit.
I think like some Troublemaker films shot here, and I think that's Robert Rodriguez's company, and I think Revolution shot here too.
Yeah, and I think
The TV
some of Planet Terror was filmed here and in the parking lot right out here.
Planet Terror.
The Grindhouse film.
That's cool.
I think the scene where the helicopter is like mowing through the zombies was right out here in our parking lot.
Was Miss Congeniality filmed here at all?
It's possible.
I only asked that because on one of the studios, there's a giant photo of Sandra Bullock from that movie in that dress she comes out of that studio.
It's also
in.
life size, so you look over it, it fools you every now and then.
I thought it was a really hot woman, and I'm just like, oh, she's Sandra Bullock. Yes, never mind.
Sandra Bullock's a hot woman. What's wrong with you?
You know what?
Nah.
This past weekend, I was flipping through the TV channels. I saw The Net on television. I was like, I gotta watch this. It was like just starting.
The Net.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a movie from 20 years ago where Sandra Bullock plays a computer programmer whose identity gets erased by an evil group of people who
The
are trying to
internet
take
ruins
over the
her life.
internet.
Yeah.
And it's like so fucking dated. Like the first shot of the movie is like her playing Doom on her computer, and then she like quits it so she can order a pizza from PizzaNet, the best pizza in cyberspace.
Nice.
it's like so fucking awful and dated. And like all the websites that have been hacked by the secret group all have like a little pie logo in the lower right corner, and you click on it and you can like take over the world.
I always like in old movies where they do computer stuff, even in The Matrix, people thought it was a good idea to project the screen onto people's faces for the reverse. So like you would see the website like scrolling up their face when they were. Why did anyone do that? That doesn't happen. That's not real.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not yet. There she is, Pizza
Oh,
Net.
PizzaNet, there it is. it looks so fucking
She
terrible.
looks really hungry.
I'm surprised. So you hadn't heard of it? Like, so I was telling Jordan and Barbara this earlier at lunch, and they were both also like, The Net. What's that?
I had heard of it. I had never seen it.
I gotta say, Bernie, your socks today are tremendous.
You like this?
Oh, look at that.
Look it up.
They're one of the best you've done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we're trapped in this
You know what?
moving van with your
Your
stinky
socks.
socks.
That's another thing that's come up. We should make a catalog of like all the jokes that started, or like things with people that started somewhere and then moved to somebody else. Like the sock thing, people associate with me. It actually wasn't my thing. It's Gavin's thing. And then I started doing it, and I just became more associated with me. And the only reason I started doing it is that Gavin made fun of my socks one day.
It was a fair comment though.
Yeah, you said you have old grandfather socks.
Were they like Argyle or something?
And it really like struck
I
me.
think it was because I watched you put them on once. Like, I just shove on socks. Like, I'll get out of bed and just be like, whoosh, while I'm stood up.
This really affected him.
Bernie was in Australia. He went like this on the bed. He went. Like he bundled it at the end. It was just like this. I was like, "Are you 80? What are you doing? Look at the sock combination and the way he was doing it."
I was probably 60 pounds heavier when I
What
did that.
could you hear? Like his joints creaking, snapping.
I went,
He was out of breath when he finished.
what was it? Who was it? Was it Louis C.K. said? Him putting on his socks is the worst thing that happens to him all day.
Yeah.
This is like, doing that. But there's a lot of things like that, like your desk too. It's like everyone was like really obsessed with your desk, and I didn't know. Like I wrote you and said, "Hey, I'm gonna break your desk in this Vine with Adam," and you're like, "I don't give a shit. I don't want that thing."
Yeah.
And it's like then people are like, "Oh," and even Jack told me, "Well, we had plans for it in a video." I was like, "Oops, sorry."
Well, actually, the way you worded it was, "Hey, are you taking your desk to the next building?" And I said, "No," and you said, "Good," because I just snapped it up.
Well, I hadn't done it at that point. Sorry, I was making a sarcastic comment, but I was actually gonna try to convince him to like jump through it, but it was like everyone was convinced they were gonna get stabbed.
Yeah.
by-
Oh, I would've
that
done it.
hurt.
Nobody had a
I would
hoodie.
have choke slammed myself through
I feel
it.
like that would hurt a lot.
Choke slammed? Like someone grabbed you by the throat and
Yeah, except I could have done it on my own.
oh,
But I wonder how many people remember like that joke of like damaging the desk. That started with Jeff.
right.
Like we would always, there was a golf club, we would always damage Jeff's desk. And in fact, to a point where he couldn't use the mouse and he had to move further over. And we kept like hammering the desk. Every time he went out of town or to a con,
Yeah.
he would come back and be like, like that. And so that's why Jeff's desk, when he moved into Achievement Hunter at 636, That's why he got that massive white desk.
It's
and
not a
nobody
desk,
could mess with
It's
it.
a dining room table.
Yeah,
That's
nobody
why
can
it's
mess
so
with it.
solid.
So I saw people were wondering where the first hole in your desk came from.
You want to tell everyone, Gus?
It was me with a sledgehammer. I walked in with a sledgehammer. I was like, does this look funny to you? Smash!
I was late for makeup or something. I was like, yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. And you just hacked the corner off, and then you taped it back up instead it was fixed. And then I think I insulted you again that night, and you came back and put a hole right through the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
No,
It,
that
was
it was
you?
like under his keyboard. If you moved his keyboard, there was a giant hole under it.
That was the thing to try to use. You try to damage as much real estate in the area they're going to use the most. The mouse is the worst.
Yeah.
Like just put a dent in it where the mouse was. And of course, when Gavin would work with me on Red vs. Blue, and I was setting up shots and something would go wrong, and I have so many like dents in the desk that are that far apart because that's the distance on the two handles of a 360 controller that I would hit the desk. And fuck, bam.
Yeah, and it would sometimes be the smallest stuff, like nothing in the scene would go wrong. But whenever we shot with Church, you had to keep the camera dead still. So we'd do the scene, and the camera had to not move, and then we'd get Church in, and so we could do different opacity, so it looked like he was 50% there. And one time you just picked up the wrong controller. It was you're meant to walk out Church, but you walked the camera out. So you just went like with the camera, and you were like.
Get my aggression out.
I told you, at
person now, I
the
think.
old spare bedroom in
Yeah.
Buda, I saw him snap a Duke in half.
Like this.
With
just
his
like
bare
this.
hands, just like
Crack.
out of
I forgot
rage.
about
He just fucking, girl. And it was like,
What?
okay. I remember I walked out of the bedroom. I was like, I'm going to give him a minute. I'll be
Man.
back.
Who are you, Jaws? Who ever does that in a Bond?
Hey, I saw is the guy who plays Jaws still alive? Because I'm pretty
Richard
sure.
Keel?
Pretty sure I saw him in the Phoenix airport on one of my trips recently.
Do well to miss him.
What? He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And he was having assistance. He's an older guy now. But he's
been
a
in-
hard dude to miss. Yeah.
He's had issues walking for a long time, I think. Even back to like Happy Gilmore and stuff.
Was the person rolling him around going, dun dun?
No, James Bond Jaws, not Shark
I know.
Jaws.
I'm making a joke.
A terrible joke.
Look at Barbara.
There's a scene in that movie
Honestly,
where
a person didn't play Jaws.
Bond picks up Jaws by
Sorry.
a metal thing.
I saw Barbara makes a good point. I saw a giant shark being wheeled away around the airport. It was awesome. It was Bruce. Do you know that was the name? Do you know that was the name of the shark?
I'm Brucey.
Did not know that.
Bruce. No.
Bruce was the name of the shark, and it broke constantly.
What a
Yeah.
bitch. What a diva.
Yeah, well, that's why they didn't show him very much in the movie.
Yeah, it
And
said
it turned out to be a better because of it.
the Spielberg has a quote. He said the shark that because it broke so often, it made him more like Hitchcock and less like Roger Corman. Like he would have been like showing the shark in every
It
shot.
would have been a creature film.
Yeah, and the shark doesn't show up to like 75% of the way through the movie, physically on screen.
There's a shot in the James Bond movie where he picks up Jaws with the what those metal things
The
called?
like
Pick
the
up metal.
electromagnet.
Yeah, so it like magnetizes his face. Well, how would that not just have eviscerated his face?
Or like
it would've
ripped the metal
Yeah, it would
fucking
have pulled
out.
the metal through his skin, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
They're
can you imagine
powerful.
like you would be held by your teeth?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then it lets him go. He gets down. He's like, no.
No. That would have pulled your fucking jaw out.
did you guys see the video of the prankster on YouTube? There's a new thing now, like Vitaly and those other guys that do this stuff, where they just basically they call it pranking, but they're basically just walking up to people on the street and harassing them.
Yeah.
with
Is
a
it
camera.
illegal what they do?
I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, because what they're doing is they're just talking shit in America. Yeah, freedom of speech. Like it's very funny. Like it's amazing the situations these guys put themselves in. Where Vitaly will go to gym and walk up to the biggest dude in the gym and go like, "What are you doing here, bro? Who should try to lift? You're skinny, got skinny little arms, skinny little legs." The guy's like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" And like a couple times he's been like chased around a parking lot and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. But a guy he looks like he's on Venice Beach and he's talking to people and it's the dumbest fucking joke ever. He walks up to people and goes, "Hey man, I want you to kiss my ass." And they're like, "What?" He goes, "Kiss my ass. Can we kiss my ass?" And like, "Get the fuck away from me." And then he pulls out like a little toy donkey. He goes, "Kiss my ass." And I go, it's funny. Haha. He's yeah, it's a prank. It's like, no, it's just a fucking really
stupid
dumb joke.
joke.
What is funny about that?
Nothing is funny about it, except at the end of the video, he talks to these two gangsters that are sitting there, and one of them stands up and goes, "You better get the fuck away from me." And he's like, "No, man, do you want to kiss my..." And a guy clocks him and knocks him flat out. Like, just like, arms at his side, and he just goes down.
It's like, what do you expect?
Yeah, I can't believe that actually, though, I finally got to see a prankster getting their fucking ass handed to them. And I gotta give the guy complete credit. He's like, "Did I just get knocked out?" He goes, "That was fucking awesome." He goes, "I just got knocked out." And he completely rolls with it. Like, he's not like, "That guy's a dick," or
Probably
anything like
literally.
that. Yeah.
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 I
He
think
goes down like a ton of bricks.
for a long I don't know if I'm remembering this right, but I think I've heard Rocco from Mega 64 say in a video he would love to make someone so mad that they hit him. And I think they got really close with their Stanley Parable video. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
They almost got arrested. Well,
I don't think anyone can knock down Rocco.
Just hit him.
I think they can.
Yeah, I totally think they could.
I don't know if he's very
What was the one?
The Stanley Parable video where they like walked up to people and started narrating what they were doing.
You know what? I think that's a brilliant idea for a video, and I wish, those guys are really great at that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird to me the videos that Mega 64 has that are their biggest video. What would you say is the biggest Mega 64 video?
I think they're most known for their Tetris video.
I would say the Resident Evil "What Are You Buying" guy. I don't know why. I feel like that's
also the Assassin's Creed is a big one too.
Assassin's Creed is a big one
where he's
too.
walking through the market.
But that video they did at PAX, their dance party for their 300th podcast, that thing is fucking funny.
With Ray and Michael in there.
Yeah, and Ray and Michael are in there. Yeah, and they did a big dance party at PAX. They just do everything those guys do is really funny.
I was actually telling these guys a story before because we were gonna hide someone in a box here and have them pop out during the podcast. Obviously, we didn't do it, but
or did we?
They did this thing where they hid during the setup of the panel, and every time they do a panel they like come out and surprise everyone and start dancing. So I think it was either Sean or Derek who hid in a box for like the half hour leading up to the panel while everyone's getting seated, and his legs had like lost all sort of feeling and all.
God.
And so like they pop out to start dancing and he just face plants because he can't use his legs.
That's awful. It makes me think of at RTX 2012 when Jordan and I were getting ready for the Animated Adventures panel, and we hid in the panel room. We got into the panel room through the back doors before anyone was seated in there. We hid under the table. We let the room fill up, and then we just like jumped out like 5 minutes after the panel was supposed to start.
It's like that Michael Jackson entrance where he was under the stage. It was like stood on a platform and it just shoots him up out the stage, and everyone's like, "Wah!" But way less entertaining.
Yeah, ours was way less, way more low tech.
That was the panel you were late to, right?
What?
The RTAA panel?
Yeah, like you walked in the door, Jordan and I were hiding under the table.
I was like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah,
I know you're in here.
Empty room. Yeah.
That's when we debuted Dubstep Hipster Burnie.
Oh yeah. And we talked about the patch last week, but it's been a year now since that Catbug thing that at PAX East when I got a little bit too drunk and turned off all the lights in the restaurant. I turned them up.
You
turned them up.
Turned them up. You turned them up. Yeah.
It was a nice formal restaurant, and I felt it was too dim, so I turned up all the lights.
No, you drunkenly stumbled into the lights.
Oh, is that what I did?
And with your shoulder, you activated every light in that fucking restaurant.
I don't know why you can retell a story like it was all pre-planned. I went in there.
I'm hearing it secondhand.
I turned the lights up. When in reality, it just cuts to you going.
Yeah, he was like standing and then like did that tree thing where he's like starts tipping over. Like clunk.
And then you go down the wall. Yeah, but it's been a year since that whole like incident where you told the whole restaurant that I'm Catbug.
That was the best night of my life.
And they put me in that Catbug game now.
Nice.
It's one of the costumes you can unlock.
There was even a patch to update your name in the game.
Yeah.
People always write me that. It doesn't bug me at all when people.
I thought it was intentional, actually.
Because they also did a YouTube ad with Catbug Loves Bernie, which ran on all of our stuff. So when Cartoon Hangover did the thing, they did it. So I was like thinking, is that supposed to be cute the way that Catbug spells my name, or it's supposed to be like a reference? But honestly, it's like even like I have to teach all my phones how to spell my own name because it will auto-correct it to Bernie. So if I see Bernie, it doesn't with an E. It doesn't bug me.
Yeah, I thought it was intentional.
Yeah, I sent Patrick the clip of the YouTube of the video with the guy getting knocked out.
The clip of the YouTube.
You got it?
We hear the voice of God saying that they got it. Let's see if they put it up there.
So this is him talking to people.
He's a short
Kiss
guy?
My ass. Yeah, it's the guy in the riot shirt.
Michael has that shirt.
And they're like, oh, look, it's a prank. Ha ha, this is so funny. Okay, here. Obviously the guy whose faces are blurred.
They didn't get release forms from these guys?
You know, he's telling him, why don't you kiss my ass?
It's like he's coming up to them while they're trying to just have some time.
Yeah, they're just smoking a fucking cigarette, sitting there chilling out.
Uh-oh. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up.
I couldn't do that. I could not. If you told me to like get in someone's face like a stranger up in the...
Oh my God.
I heard Kara gasp.
Look at his hands. They're just
Yeah, he knocked him right out.
Oh
It's bad. Look at where he stood. He could have fallen forwards.
Yeah, if he fell forwards, I mean, it could be a bad deal for the
Yeah,
dude.
could have cracked his head open.
I really do have to give the guy credit, though, because if, like, most people, I would expect at least that if one of these pranksters got knocked out, they would be completely just upset about it and incredulous, but he was just like, that was fucking crazy.
I'm
he
sure
has a hole. He had a hole in his bottom lip.
Oh,
like,
really?
You could see through it
Ugh.
to his teeth. Like, the guy, he's going to have a nice, good scar from that guy.
I'm sure
clocked him.
he was just happy to have footage.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was like, I can't believe we got that.
Yeah.
But at least he's aware of it within the moment too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if usually people get hit, they're like, oh, that's, you know, they freak out.
Yeah. Again, going back to Mega 64, I remember one time Eric was in someone's face with a camera and they got very angry.
That was
And
a panel, wasn't
It was
it?
at a panel. He started telling him to back up, and Eric just kept getting closer in his face, and the guy was doing the
What, at their own panel?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he going to the panel then?
And I asked Eric about it afterwards. He's like, if the guy was going to hit me, I just wanted to make sure we had it on film. I just wanted to make sure we had the footage of it actually happening so we could use it.
Because Eric's the kind of guy who will just like, if someone tells him not to do something, he'll do that even harder.
He has
Yeah.
an amazingly punchable face, too.
Yeah,
I can
he
see why
does.
the guy did it.
It's a combination of a punchable face and a punchable attitude. Like he's just like relentlessly
Punchable personality.
it just relentlessly comes out. There's been a lot of times where our boots is like right up against theirs,
Yeah.
and it's like love these guys. You know, it's like the border between U.S. and Canada. It's like the biggest undefended border of the nation or in the world. And then after about 2 days of it, you're like, stay the fuck on your side.
I hung out with him.
Keep that Eric guy over there.
I hung out with him the most at PAX East from all the Mega 64 guys.
Yeah.
He's relentless.
He came over.
He's brilliant. He has mastered. They have, in general, I don't know who runs the Mega 64 account, but this one in particular was him. They have mastered the art of the retweet without comment, which is just like, there was some Smosh video with some other big YouTuber where they're like, hey, which Hot Pocket, what do you like better about Hot Pockets? Is it Team Meat or Team Crust? Vote for your favorite. Which is the one? And just Mega 64 goes, retweet. You know exactly. That says so much that they do that.
Yeah,
In fact, I had to go talk to them because I went out to do the Fine Brothers show YouTubers react to, which I was very grateful for because I was happy they didn't put me on seniors react. But I went out there and I thought, after I did it, that was a lot of fun. It'll be fun to be on that. It'll be, definitely great promotion. It's a big show. And I thought, I better go tell the Mega 64 guys I did this show before they find out on their own. I have to go talk to them. So
Okay.
I pulled them aside at PAX.
Pre-warning.
I want you to hear about it from me first.
Why would it be an issue if they found it on their own?
Don't they hate that show?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
And I'm still prepared for them to do a full publicity onslaught on my behalf.
I'm sure.
Snarky onslaught.
Here, I'm going to read this thing. To remind everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by...
Where's the shiner?
I'm out of Shiner. Do you have Shiner over there, Barbara?
Yep.
Give him a Shiner. So I...
People screen fast. People screen stuff.
I
already
took
got
my dog to
screenshots.
the vet the other day, and when you at this vet, they have like a whiteboard and they write the names of all of the pets that are going to be dropped off there for that day. And I looked at the whiteboard, and one of the dog's names was Khaleesi. So I looked at it and I said, Khaleesi? And the nurse behind the counter goes, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I know that's a Game of Thrones thing. I said, oh really? She goes, I think we have 5 Khaleesi's that come to this to this vet. I said, really? She goes, it's a really popular name for dogs right now.
I think there was a stat where it's like 30 newborn girls in America were named Khaleesi.
Wow.
That's an atrocious name.
It's also like, her name's not Khaleesi.
her name isn't Khaleesi, right?
Daenerys.
Well, it's like, why wouldn't you just name your daughter the word for queen in Klingon? It's like the same thing. It's like the same level of nerdiness.
Or
How many
Queen.
damn names does she have? She's got Khaleesi, and then Daenerys.
Khaleesi, Daenerys Targaryen.
Stormborn.
Stormborn Targaryen.
Mother
the
of
unburnt
dragons.
mother
Where
of
does
dragons.
Stormborn come from? Is that where does that name come from?
When she was born, there was a huge storm ravaging Dragonstone
was
at the
storm.
time.
All right.
Yeah. It's dumb.
I was born in a storm.
Yeah, I'm Gavin Cloudy. Day.
That's what Stormborn means, born in a storm. So I didn't know this, but I was talking with Emily earlier today, who just had a baby a couple
Is she
weeks
here?
ago. No, she stopped by.
She stopped by
to
with the
see
kiddo.
place.
Oh man.
Harlan.
And she told me about something I didn't realize. Which
Harlem.
do you know about the phenomenon of hurricane babies?
What?
Yeah.
Where apparently,
Well, they come out spinning around.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. They have one eye and they spin around it as they come out of the vagina,
And they come from the Atlantic.
and they're all named after women. No. Apparently, when the pressure drops, like when there's a big storm or like a hurricane, it induces labor in women.
So it's like the brown note.
Yes, it's like the
Except it
brown
doesn't
note,
make you
except you
shit
shit a
your
baby out. So I guess when hurricanes are coming and the pressure drops, like women will go into labor and have their baby.
Oh, that's not at all what I thought you were going to say.
Oh.
So
That's
if you're working in a hospital and then you see a hurricane, are you just like, "Ugh, get the maternity ward ready?
Yeah,
Bunch-
get the
bunch of
generator. Make sure the
sprogs.
generators are working
Because she was early. I think she was like a week early.
because there were thunderstorms that rolled through that weekend. which is
Touché.
how we got to the topic of conversation.
So
What
how
did you think a hurricane baby was?
I thought you were going to say something like one of the power outage babies or blizzard babies when people get trapped indoors.
Oh, gotcha.
And then 9 months later, a bunch of babies are born exactly at the same time. It's like a big, like,
Well, because people get it on.
people get it on because they got nothing better to do. So I thought maybe that's what you're going to say from hurricane.
How many babies would be born 9 months after the internet was off for a week?
God, that'd be amazing.
We
Oh
should
my
do
God.
it
We should turn the internet off for a week?
right now.
Well, I think remember when people thought it was going to be the end of the world, December 12th, 2012, was it?
I know a guy quit his
December
job.
21st.
I know a guy
21st?
quit his job.
And I was
because
like,
of that.
if-
quit his job.
If you were born September 21st, 2013, I'll know your parents are dumb. Basically.
I remember there were a bunch of ads at San Diego Comic-Con one year for that movie 2012, and there was like the tagline was something like "It's all over 2012" or whatever. And this one fucking kid came by our booth and was like, "Did you hear San Diego Comic-Con's moving?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, 2012 is the last year it's going to be here in San Diego. It's moving to a new city." I was like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "They got giant banners out in the foyer saying that 2012 is the last year." It's like, "You fucking idiot. That's for a goddamn movie." Like, I couldn't contain myself. I was like, "You are fucking stupid."
Wow. That's a new level.
Like, how do you deal with that? You gotta let someone know they're stupid when they say something like that.
Yeah. You're doing
It's
them a
so
favor.
stupid that you'd be worried that he was messing with you.
He's the kind of person who would have been born 9 months after that date.
Also, he thought that Star Trek was part of NASA program. Thought it was an advertisement for that.
So,
I got your answer here to why Daenerys was called Stormborn. The night Daenerys was born, a huge storm hit Dragonstone Island. It was so powerful, it sank what was left of the Targaryen fleet. Since then, Daenerys has been named Stormborn. Also, there's another name that came in here, Dany. She's also called Dany
right,
sometimes.
so essentially what I said, right?
Did you say Dany as well?
No, I mean like the whole storm thing at Dragonstone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, her king came
Yeah,
in.
you said it out like it was a correction. I think you'll find that it's exactly right.
Confirmed.
No, I'm sorry. I thought it was a conjecture. So I was reading. I was reading from here.
I remember.
Because when we read from devices, that's
Oh no, yeah,
more appropriate.
So Game of Thrones is going on right now, and I read
a
all
good
the
time.
books. And my wife, when this season started, my wife asked me, "Are you at all upset that you read the books? Do you feel like the experience of the TV shows diminished?" I said no, and then she asked, "Well, why did you have to go and read the books?" I said, "Because people on the internet are fucking assholes.
They are.
And I saw people were trying to constantly spoil stuff for me, so I had to read it myself. Otherwise, I'd get drowned by it."
Fair play.
Because when we did it, we did a Game of Thrones spoiler cast, which we're done with spoiler casts,
I think so,
right?
yeah.
Just because it's a very limited audience that can watch spoiler casts, and also it's just
I like the one we did on Breaking Bad where I just waved the gun around the whole time.
you made people upset about trigger. Was
Yeah.
it trigger safety?
Firearm handling and
It was a
safety
trigger
and
warning.
precautions.
It's a trigger. No, there's another word.
There's a word for it.
Yeah.
Trigger
Awareness
or something
No,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a toy gun. So
Discipline. Trigger discipline.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
that's
No, I don't
it.
think
It's
that's it.
It's trigger discipline.
All right. But after we did that, the Game of Thrones one, I mentioned in there that I had read as many books as had been produced episodes for, which put me halfway through book 3. And
can you
people were
read-
like, "Oh, you're halfway through book 3? Well, let me tell you what happens." And they, people just started spoiling stuff, so I went ahead and read all the books myself as well.
dude, this season kicked off action-packed.
Yeah, it did.
I just want to let you know that I also kept all the names and Twitter handles of all the people who spoiled shit for me. And guess what? There's 2 more books coming out. So you fuckers can expect a tweet from me in about the next 2 or 3 years. I can read fast. I don't know how fast you can read, but I can read really fast.
Just get that shit on Audible. Put it on fucking double speed.
I can't wait to do that. I really do have their names. So I'm really going to do that.
Do you read like Davos with your mouth?
No. No, I don't do that.
Nice reference.
Nice. No
Only
spoilers.
children do that.
So how were things in your new office today?
It's pretty lush in
I
there.
thought you were looking
It's
at me
like
for a second. I was like, we share an
Share an
office.
office, I wouldn't ask you.
No, it's really cozy. There's plenty more room, and it's very chatty, like outside of the room, and you shut the door and you can't hear anything.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
your
Really
walls
soft.
are like extra insulated.
Also, it's dark as knobs. I went to pee because our bathrooms are outside. I was blinded. I couldn't see my own penis for a while.
You didn't wash your hands.
Well, that's a
I
normal
washed
thing.
my hands.
He
All right,
didn't
is
wash
that
his
true?
hands. I was waiting
what
to use the
happened?
bathroom before the podcast, and we only have a limited number of bathrooms out here. And Gavin came out.
I'm
He's-
listening.
And I'm like, "Hey,
Go
Gavin."
ahead.
He's like, "Hey." He walked into the building.
Did you
I
notice
walked in. I peed. I went to wash my hands. Washed them. There were no paper towels, so I walked out of the bathroom, and my hands were soaking wet. And I was like, Gavin's hands weren't soaking wet when he walked out.
When I walked out, he was facing the other way on his phone, and I was doing this. And then he goes, "Hey, I'm going to take a dump now." And I went, "Cool." How does that mean I didn't wash my hands?
Don't wash your hands.
What?
I didn't see you shake. You would not have shaken the water off that fast.
Here's the thing.
I didn't shake all the water off.
Who
I'm not going to
gi-
go like
who
this
gives a
for
shit?
ages.
It's no big deal.
It is a big deal if you don't wash your hands. It's minging.
Well, if you're a dude, because you like hold your dick, but
He's a dude.
yeah, I guess that's...
I wash my hands. You're saying it like I didn't.
No, it's a big deal for women too, because women have to wipe.
Yeah, but she's saying it's not a big deal for dudes. That's a separate discussion.
You gotta swipe right up in there.
Yeah.
I can do this. Zip. Go. Zip up.
That's true.
I like
probably
that he
go for-
zipped and he wiggled his butt. That's what he did.
No. You gotta like.
You gotta whip that piss all over the wall.
If you sit down when you pee, you gotta get it in. Otherwise, it'll just like hit the seat.
And hang out.
So that's what you do when you sit. How long is your dick? Is it like fucking 3 feet
Once
long?
you get it
It's
with
like
a-
an elephant trunk. You're like getting it in there.
Once again, we gotta point out that Gavin sits down to pee.
Oh yeah.
Once again, you gotta point that out. That is not.
I've admitted that. It's nicer. You don't have to touch. You don't have to touch piss. You don't ever piss on your hand. And all you gotta do is sit down, stand up, and you're done.
so luxurious.
The other
It's
day,
like a little treat.
I got really fucking annoyed the other day. I was at the Austin airport. I was getting ready to fly somewhere, and they're getting ready to board. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go take a piss right now. That way I don't have to pee on the airplane. Run to the bathroom, take a piss. I'm at the urinal, and the stalls are behind me, and I can hear a dude in the stalls having a fucking conversation on his phone. He's sitting down, taking a fucking shit, talking on the phone.
Maybe
Like,
he's having a
what
piss.
conversation are you having?
What you mean? Like, why can't it wait?
Yeah, why did you even answer? I would never think to answer a fucking phone while I'm in the fucking bathroom.
That's one of my pet peeves. When women are on the phone in the bathroom, I always flush the toilet over and over again just to mess with them. Be like, you should not be on your phone
It's
in
not-
the
they're
fucking
not paying
bathroom.
You should just start making fart noises with your head, like just really disgusting. Be like, oh my god, that's real.
There you go.
Pretty good, right?
Thank you for demonstrating what a fart
We've
sounds
really
like.
declined at this point.
Yes, Rooster Teeth Podcast, dick and fart jokes.
Yeah,
We've
apparently.
Dick
eliminated
farts,
science because we were terrible at it. Oh, speaking of,
There was a show I saw. Who's the guy who does all the celebrity interviews in the? I cut off Gus promoting a
I
T-shirt.
was gonna
Yeah,
promote
you
the
did.
t-shirt.
Go ahead and promote the T-shirt.
It says my life is a progress bar. Please wait.
Is that a
Turn to
Rooster
camera.
T-shirt?
Yeah, that's a Ryan quote.
It's it'll be tomorrow's T-shirt Tuesday or
I like
today's.
the
depending on
purple
when it is.
shirts because they feel so good.
It actually does. I was a little.
People like grapes is like that and Motorcop.
You're killing me.
I'm normally not a big purple shirt wearer.
It looks good on you. Purple's a good color for
Thanks,
you.
Barbara.
Matt thinks
Promotion.
that red cotton is softer. He swears it is.
Whatever this
It's
is,
lavender.
this
It's
shirt
really soft.
is soft.
It's the
So
heather
is,
material.
So is the grey one with the lava rocks. What is that?
Does rocks
Yeah,
float
that's
on
what I
lava?
don't know. Yeah, that one's.
It was your quote,
Too.
Gavin.
Yeah, Gav.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's the heather material. A couple of our shirts are on that, and I
What
think
is
we're
that?
trying to do more. I don't know what exactly it is. It's just softer, and it's kind of it's not like a solid color. It kind of looks a bit faded like that, but it's nice, soft.
It's a soft shirt. I'm very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been really concerned that your office is going to get way too hot, based on the last office.
It's actually nice and cool in there.
It's kind of
It's
warm.
been all right.
We may need to make some adjustments to it.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that there's a spare funnel from the AC that we can point over there.
Yeah.
And by spare, I mean there's 2 in the tiny room next door. We can just take one.
Yeah.
We our office got pretty warm today. Me and Gus are sharing an office, Fort Dunkelman, as you know, but there's no actual
Yes,
like
I
AC
didn't know that.
pointed at it, and we have a ceiling.
Yeah,
also.
we literally have no AC duct pointing into our office.
Yeah.
It's like this seems like a bit of an oversight.
Yeah.
There's some ones you can just point in there.
Yeah, we had to steal it from Joel. It's pointing into Joel's office. I just got to get up on a ladder and fucking point it
I
over
was
to us.
walking past Joel's the other day, and I walked past because I walked past his door, and I was just blasted with air, and he has like 19 fans in there because it was so hot. And I looked at the air conditioning, and I was like, "There's one right above your office." But then he informed me that it was just blowing on the roof of his office. It like didn't poke through or anything. It was just
It's a thin fabric though, so I feel
is
like
it?
it would
Yeah.
come
Does
through.
to go through.
Yeah, I got there.
Push through.
You have your own office.
Air pressure.
I do.
Yeah, it's
Dude, your
nice.
office has the biggest window. Like, the
I know.
front of it's just a window. There's no
They're
wall.
like, you're gonna put some blinds on. I'm like, nah.
I feel like I can't.
Look at
I
me.
can't walk by and not look in there.
I'm doing this. At my computer
You
screen.
should just sit there topless sometimes.
Listen, I gotta say, I don't like the way people set up their desks.
Why is that?
Because everyone set up their desk where their monitor is the back of it faces
We don't want people to see what you're
the
doing.
door. Why not?
Because I'm looking at porn all day.
Yeah, but don't do that. And
Why?
also, I gotta
Why-
come
how's
in, I
somebody
gotta
coming
come
to
look at
work?
people's cords and shit. Just put your computer up against the wall, and you
But
give
you
more
want
space.
people to see what you're doing all the time.
What do I care? And we all work at the same company. What are you doing? I can
What
see
are
your
you doing?
desk.
No, I mean I'm fine. I don't give a. You can look at what I'm doing. I'm saying I can see why people want the privacy though.
I think
What if
I
they're-
just don't like people watching me work. It's a weird thing.
Who's doing it?
Just people who walk. Like we have windows too in our office, and
Yeah.
just, I don't
Like
know.
she said, every time she walks by your office, people can see.
Window as well. So why are you running Windows 2?
We're running Windows 2.
My favorite version.
2.0. Yeah, no, I wish everyone had a more open approach to their desk.
Well, do it. You own the company.
I did it.
Have an open monitor policy.
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell people.
One of the offices does. Blaine and
I'm going to make fun of people.
and Kara are in an office that they put all the desks along the wall, and it looks pretty good.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Everybody's working away.
But then you could watch everyone look at porn.
But nobody's looking at porn.
Or
Are you looking at porn at
jerk
your desk?
It's a whole day every day.
There's no
You
point. in
guys
looking
do. I have to say that when she was in the office with the Adams, there was sometimes when I'd be sitting in the lobby of the old building, and I'd be sitting there typing away, and you guys would watch some crazy shit in there. Like, I'd hear your conversation about what you're watching. I'm like, the fuck are they talking about? It's like, oh, this has to be a Japanese video. That is a lot of liquid. It's like, what are they talking about in there? They were watching some very.
They're like my
inappropriate
bros. We watch some fun stuff together.
stuff. So we should talk about, just bring people up to speed because we have new people in the audience all the time. Let's go to the different locations of Rooster Teeth. So it started in a spare bedroom at my house.
Correct.
And we were there for 2 years. And then we moved to an apartment. We were in downtown Buda.
One bedroom apartment.
One bedroom apartment.
Episode 50 you moved, right?
Yep, that would make sense.
Of RVB.
And then when we finished season 5, episode 100, we moved to an office downtown. That's the Congress office, that's what we call it. And then we were there for about 3 years and moved out of there season 8, end of season 8? Yes.
Yeah, because
End
we
of
did
season
not.
8.
Yeah.
Of Red versus Blue. And season 8, and we moved to what we call Ralph Alblanado, but it's also 636. It's that studio where we just moved out of, and now we moved here to Austin
That was
Film
the first
Studios.
office that was on the ground.
Oh, wow.
That is an interesting way to put it. I never thought about that.
Because I remember, because I helped you move from Buda to Congress.
Congress.
And I remember just like, why do we keep moving up this arcade machine? We got to carry it up the stairs every time we move.
That arcade machine was a fucking nightmare.
Where did that go? Did we get rid of it?
Marshall took it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I said, I'm going to give this away. And Marshall goes, oh, I'd like it. I go, are you going to sell it? He goes, no, I really like it. I'd like to have it.
Pretty sure he sold it.
I'm pretty sure Marshall has never played a video game in his life.
He also
ever.
lives in LA now, and I don't think he took an arcade.
I'm
machine
pretty
with
sure
him.
he did. I'm pretty sure Marshall sold it as soon
I
as
can
I gave
imagine
it to
him
him.
like a leaving scene in a movie where he's got like all his crap in a sack on his back on a stick. He's just dragging an arcade machine.
His arcade machine. Big, we got. You know why we got this thing?
Actually works really well.
It worked for me today too. That thing has never worked before. That
It
stupid
works.
bottle
You've
opener.
been using it wrong.
It's like a little wrestler bottle opener.
Yeah. Not
Bear
just
hug.
It's a terrible design. Terrible design.
Yeah, awful.
Awesome.
I hate gimmicky bottle openers. The bottle opener I normally use for the podcast is just like that metal
Jeff
bar.
has the worst one
The monkey?
ever. The monkey
The
is the
fucking
worst
monkey.
thing.
The
It is
monkey's
terrible.
has weight to it. You don't
No.
have to put any pressure.
it
It's
doesn't
No,
just
it's
work.
bullshit.
What's
It
the monkey?
doesn't work. It's
It's
bent.
it's like a giant monkey that's
It's
really heavy.
like a symbol monkey, like a Shriner hat on.
and
Am I
it doesn't,
remembering it right?
it's not
Yeah.
anything clever. You just take the whole thing and just put it on the beer and go like that. But because it's so heavy, you don't have to.
No. What you do is you take it, you put in a beer, and you go like that. You're like, fuck. And you go like that. You're like, fuck. And you go like that. And you're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah,
and you go like that.
like,
And you're like,
one
oh. And you go like that. And you go like that. Then you get a fucking knife and a hammer. You just fucking smash the goddamn thing open because you're so desperate for a fucking beer by that
Throw
point.
the monkey at your beer so it
You
cracks
do this. You go
open.
clink, 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 clink. And Jeff goes, give me the fucking beer. And then he goes, clink, fuck. See? There you go. It's like, that's exactly how that works every single
the
time.
first time-
It's awful. Fucking chuck that thing out a window.
Why does he have it?
The first time I ever met Jeff, I started to notice he's a very clumsy person. And he kept doing a load of stuff. He's like, no, I'm not clumsy. And he used that monkey thing, flicked off the beer top, and it hit him in the forehead with such force that it stuck in his forehead. I was like, just like this in the skin and then fell off. And that just summed up Jeff to me.
It's amazing.
He had a ring cut there. We did something the other day that I was really impressed by. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I took a bottle cap and did this thing with it, where you flick it like that. Never done that before in my life. Winged it right across the podcast set. I just reminded myself of something, a story we didn't tell that thinking of it, I feel terrible about.
Is it to do with Ashley?
Yeah.
The
Ashley
tall Ashley?
Shoemaker. Ashley Shoemaker.
What?
Who was running our PAX East booth. So Gavin was in the booth, and I thought, what a great opportunity. PAX East was where I did that big
no.
long Kung Shu video with him when we did the reboot of RT Life. And it started off with that long video where I'm following Gavin through the hallways making ninja noises.
Right.
And I finally kicked my shoe at him, and that's when we
And you got to
introduced-
be a real prick to do it in front of 1,000 people, because then you're giving them the idea to kick shoes.
Right.
I pretty much am. And then put it on the internet, too.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, we're in the booth. I thought, I'll do a Kung Shu. So I kicked the shoe at him. It was like a shot from David Beckham. It like the shoe bent and went around Gavin, and it fucking clocked Ashley Shoemaker right in the forehead. She got a lump on her
Oh,
forehead.
my God.
And I
Bounced off her head. It was like Pele. It was like, whoosh, whoosh. straight into her head.
And let's be honest, Ashley Shoemaker probably beat the shit out of me.
Yeah,
If
she would.
really got pissed.
Yeah,
she
she'd
could
take you
probably
down.
She could probably take me down.
I did a little dodge. The bad thing is, I told her this afterwards just to rub it in, is that you've never got me as good as you got her.
I never have. I would love to make a lump on Gavin's head.
What you should do, you should aim for someone else when Gavin's in the room. And see
It
what
was a
happens.
lousy shot, and he dodged.
yeah.
And it was
and
just
then
like,
I'm the bad guy because I ducked a shoe and it hit a woman.
You're like
yeah.
the Secret Service. You should have like dove in
You
front
should
of
have
it.
taken it for her.
I didn't know she was right behind me.
She worked her ass off all weekend on that booth too.
And then today you almost killed Sarah doing the same thing.
Yeah, I did. I got that one on video. Really good shot. I've gotten much better about holding my camera perfectly
Yeah.
still because when you kick, a lot of times the camera moves.
We may or may not be working on a sequel to Kung Fu.
Let's do it.
What?
We had one of the best shots ever that neither one of us got when we did the Fruit Ninja immersion.
Yeah.
I did a vine where I kicked one at your head from really far away, almost got you, and then I clocked you right here. That was a
Yeah,
pretty
that
good
was
one.
side of the face, that one.
And leveled you. But then you and I decided we were gonna have a showdown and
Stop doing them as vines. We can't use that in a compilation.
Okay, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, but you don't. It's like, stop, start and all that.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, well, it's just the easiest way for me to record. So we did when we faced each other. We're gonna do like a draw, and we're gonna just stand there and fire a shoe at each other on the count of 3. Our shoes hit midair, and then fell, like perfectly
Perfect.
smacked,
Perfect.
and then fell.
I'm
But neither
filming
one of
like this, and as I kick my shoe, my camera goes over here. So all I have is the crowd of people watching us going, "Oh!" But no,
Wait,
you
where
actually
did you
see it.
film that?
It was in the field while we were doing Fruit Ninja.
Right.
You were there. You were in
Yeah,
the
I
video.
was there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
someone's saying, I wish Bernie would go back to the celebrity interviewer talk thing he was starting to talk about. I
What was I talking about?
Who's the celebrity interviewer?
don't remember that. Sorry, official Garwood. Oh, it's official Garwood.
It's
Yeah,
official
sorry.
Garwood. It's
So
official
never
Garwood. Not to be confused with any of the run-of-the-mill
Just
Garwoods.
normal Garwood.
I look like I'm 10 times bigger than the rest of you.
It's like that forced perspective thing. It's
It
like
is.
it's like we're filming that Lord of the Rings.
Welcome to my truck, little people.
Feed me.
I don't know. What was I talking about? Celebrity interview.
Was it the
I don't
YouTubers
remember.
react? No.
You were like this. Who's that celebrity interviewer?
Oh, who is a celebrity interviewer on the UK who does? It did work perfectly. Who is the celebrity interview? He does like the couch interviews. It's not Stephen Fry. It's a something show. It's the something show. He's a guy in a suit and he's like just a normal dude. Anyway,
Parkinson, Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. That's
Alan
exactly
Cu-
who it is. Graham Norton.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a very
Yeah,
famous.
Graham
He's a
Norton.
very
He
famous
writes
guy
the
over there.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
He's Irish.
Is it the one
Yeah.
who had? Is he the one who had Emma Stone on it and pranked her with Spice Girls?
Oh yeah, where he said they were coming out and all that.
He was just like, "So you love them, right?" And she's just like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you ever met one?" And he kept going on, and she's just like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" And he's like, "Well, they're not here." It was funny.
Nice.
The reaction was
Crushing
great.
dreams.
He
Yeah.
did the thing where he set up a camera in the bathroom, and the audience members were going in, and then when they came out, like they recorded over the course of the show, and then you had to bet whether or not they would wash their hands after they went to the bathroom. Then they like showed the person in the audience. Here they are. Here's the
Oh
show
my
for them
God.
walking up, looking in the mirror, and then do they wash their hands or not? And like 2 out of 3 people did not wash their hands. And
Do you
just
wash
walked
your hands
out.
every time you pee?
If they put that up on a TV show though,
the
when you're in
question?
there, you go, no. Do I wash my? Yes, I wash my hands every time I go to the bathroom. I really do. I do.
Bullshit.
I don't know if I'm in the woods or something. I don't do that,
Okay.
but I wash my hands after I go to the bathroom.
Spit on them.
I feel like regardless of whether or not you think the act is dirty, which is fucking filthy, I feel like I have to wash my hands a certain number of times a day, and that's an opportunity where there's a sink, there's soap, I may as well wash my hands.
Ashley, my girlfriend actually got sick at PAX. I did not get sick.
I've never gotten sick at an event.
Ever?
Ever.
I totally have.
Hand sanitize frequently and don't touch your face.
Thrown up at events.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh.
But it's not
Probably
like
drinking.
the flu. Yeah, that's like hangover
I've
stuff.
known Gus for so long, I actually understand what he's saying there. It is different for him.
Yeah.
To hear that Gus threw up is like nothing.
It's nothing. It's like, oh yeah, whatever.
We all went to this place and
Bleh.
ate pizza and Gus threw up. It's like, oh yeah.
It's like that story I told when I got food poisoning at PAX East last year. It happens.
You get food poisoning more than anybody I know.
I'm pretty sensitive about the food I eat.
It's
Yeah.
like the time you shit a bean through your nose.
No, I
Shit a
I
bean through
puked
your
a
nose.
bean through my nose.
Yeah.
Totally different. I did not shit a bean through my nose.
That's how you worded it.
Did I? My bad. There was no fecal matter involved. It was just vomit.
And I just want to say I could completely be wrong about the Graham Norton thing being in the bathroom with the washing the hands. Whoever it was, I think it was Graham Norton working from memory, and I'm usually wrong when I try to remember stuff.
Jonathan
So,
Ross? Alan Carr?
Alan Carr.
I know Ellen
Is Alan
DeGeneres
Carr
would-
related to Jimmy Carr?
Nope.
Jimmy Carr is fucking funny.
Jimmy Carr might be the funniest person in England.
Who's Jimmy Carr?
Comedian.
Comedian.
Oh yeah, it's funny, right? But like, what would I know him from? Has he been in
He's
movies?
just a
or anything?
dude.
He's like a panelist on a lot of things, stand-up comedian.
He's a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
He's like a Louis C.K.
He's very good at his stand-up shows. I went to one. You can just shout at him and it's just banter the whole time. He's like the most quick-witted person I've ever seen on TV.
He doesn't have a segment where he like nobody shouts at him. So he's like, "Come, somebody shout at me!" Like he'll actually entice the audience to yell at him.
I yelled at him.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
He made fun of me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Aw.
That's a badge of honor, isn't it?
Fucking burn.
Yeah, I said donkey. I don't know what the question was. I just yelled donkey.
You're a donkey.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr's very funny. You can watch all their stuff online. The Louis C.K. I think is really great about shutting down hecklers.
I've never seen him do that.
Oh, it's really funny. 'Cause somebody
he doesn't
yelled,
want 'em?
and he's like, "Shut the fuck up." He's like, "You're ruining it for everybody." Gus, it'd be perfect. That's Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has,
Recognize him?
he has
No,
a
I
nice
don't,
sort of
unfortunately.
pinchable little
Oh wait,
face.
I've seen him on.
QI.
Yeah, that's where I've seen him.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Why has everyone seen QI? It seems
is
like quite an obscure show to...
There's always fucking screenshots from it on Reddit. I
Do
see
you
it
know,
all the time.
in the original RT podcast setup, I wanted to make a table like the QI table, like someone at the head, be Gus, and then everyone else sitting along like the legs or
In
the
fact,
side of it.
we made the table.
Yes.
And we did some test productions with it. It just didn't flow. Didn't work out
It
right.
didn't work well. And we were actually going to have monitors in our like tables right there, so we could actually see what we were all talking about. It just didn't work out very well.
Yeah. I also feel like you at the head would be an awkward.
You could have been rotating.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I am awkward in general.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I feel
Barbara
more
with
comfortable having
criticism.
you on the side of the podcast. I feel like you run it better from the side rather than in the middle.
You don't consider Gus to be the head of the podcast?
No, she means since I sit on the side now. Like we anchor it from the side instead of from
Does
the
that
center.
mean we're the head?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I guess so.
fucking save us. Here, do an ad read for me. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
off.
good call.
Good luck with that.
Could you imagine me and Gavin running the podcast?
All right, how much are you reading something? Or I'm gonna check Twitter real quick.
Yeah, let me do an ad read since I got a time. I was not prepared for it. Okay. I want to remind everyone this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by.
You know how people set up a time lapse of like a dead mouse and then they watch all the bugs eat it sped up?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Just put out food.
That'd be
put
like
out a
Burnie
cake
with food.
and watch the...
Bungie did that with one of the turkeys we sent them one year.
They time lapsed
They
it.
put a time lapse on the we gave them
a
2
great
turkeys
idea.
for Christmas.
It was so fast.
It was
It was
fast.
like the turkey was there, then you see people, and then they back away, and the turkey's gone. It's just like from one frame to another. Yeah, they demolished that turkey.
They're good.
So I read today that the fuel band, Nike fuel band, which you have one, right?
I had one. I use this, which is
Whoa.
a Withings.
Did you know that they fired the whole team?
They fired 65 out of 70 people. By the way, this office is so much bigger. I normally get about 3,000 steps a day, and then I have to make up the difference. I try to get 10,000 steps a day. I had to make up the difference on my treadmill at night. I have 9,000 steps today.
Just walking around here.
Be in this
It's
building and walking over
huge.
the bungalow and walking
I
back.
probably have that just from being lost.
You probably do.
But
Yeah.
they don't want to make that anymore. They want to
yeah.
just make software.
My office, or the office I share with Barbara, is one of the furthest away from the door. Barbara, take that. And we when I saw it was so
fairly
far away from the door, Yvonne tried to make it like it was a selling point. Like, oh, it's so quiet over there. You're so far away from the door. I was like, but it's so
so
fucking far.
I know. I remember I was like, well, I have to go to the bathroom. Better get a drink of water. Journey over there.
I had to go to the bathroom so bad this afternoon. I was like, oh wait,
I think
oh we'll just wait.
I think Achievement Hunter has the best placement.
You do. You're right by the
It's
kitchen
right by the
and
water
the door.
and the bog.
It's pretty prime.
As long as you guys meet a lot of traffic coming into your office. You guys were in a high traffic spot before.
Yeah.
And that
But now I
was-
feel like you guys are so closed off that people won't bother you as much at all.
True.
Because
And
you
also
can't
there's-
really, I don't know. It just seems like very quiet in there. You don't want to bother.
so peaceful.
somebody just on Twitter, Mark Stanton 89 on Twitter.
Is he official?
Sent us the no, he's not official.
Official Mark
He's not
I'm
official.
not-
It's
I'm not
unofficial
listening then.
User account reading.
he's not
He sent us the Bungie video. So Patrick, I put that in the queue for you if you want to take a look at the Bungie video. But what were you just talking about? You were just talking about something, and I wanted to follow up on it after the ad read. Something.
The
Barbara?
walking.
The
getting lost?
the Nike Fuel Band. I like how you guys try to trigger my memory. So they laid off, I think, 65 out of 70 employees, which means they're kind of gutting that whole division. But when people were asking them about it, so Nike was supposedly getting out of the whole very crowded wearable tech market.
I feel like they were winning though.
Yeah, they're all doing well, right? Yeah.
Why bail out?
Because the rumor is now that they're going in with Apple to create an iWatch. And there's been leaked, don't get upset, Gus. There's been leaked information about the iPhone 6. And one of the things they have, like, you have Passbook for all your boarding passes and stuff. There's a health book. So Nike or Apple is integrating into the iOS. They're integrating in all the health apps. That
Lame.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm out.
Are you?
Fuck it.
Can we also stop calling stuff book that isn't a book?
Right.
Like an iBook.
Health
They used to
book.
call them the laptops books.
What's a notebook?
Yeah, they
Lap-
used to. They haven't done that in like fucking 8 years.
They do Passbook right now.
They do Passbook.
You never heard? You
MacBook.
never heard of a laptop called a notebook?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not a damn book.
Okay, fair enough.
No, he's right.
Sorry.
I was never upset about this until you just brought it up.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
They packed it in and they brought it back in the iOS.
You don't use it like that.
Although Steve Jobs always referred to it as a book. Like in the 80s when he was talking about laptops and how he wanted to make one.
It was a more popular term back then.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see if they do finally go through with the iWatch, because there's a lot of watches now that are huge, and so Apple seems to be a little bit behind on that.
They've got the Bungie video ready.
Oh, here's
is
the
them
Bungie
eating the
video.
turkey?
So every year for Christmas, we send people these turkeys, these smoked turkeys, they're awesome, by the
look at
way.
that.
They're awesome, these turkeys.
Yeah, they're from
people
somewhere
were-
just north of Austin, and it's like a smoked turkey.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
It's Greenberg,
good.
Texas, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So
How many
this is
people work at Bungie?
A lot.
I don't know, but there's a lot.
Yeah. I feel like
And
one
this-
turkey wouldn't go very far.
And this was from a couple years ago, right? This is like
Yeah.
a year or two ago.
So they were at the new studio, their current studio.
This might have been right after they moved into that.
I think
studio.
so. I think it was right somewhere around there. But yeah, the team just tearing through it here.
It's like at that point you're just looking for meat on the carcass.
I will say this about the smoked turkeys is that you can make a critical mistake. You can make a critical mistake where you eat the skin,
Yeah.
and that's awful thing to do.
Yeah.
Because
Why? Turkey skin's not good.
no. Turkey skins are fine. The smoked turkey skin is just like it's like eating charcoal.
This one in particular is like it's so
No, it's amazing.
strong and pungent.
Pungent?
Pungent.
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 Pungning.
I don't know.
Pyongyang.
Decoupage.
Pungent. Hey, we don't have to go back in history.
Decolletage.
Pent ultimate.
Why does it got to be about me? Why can't it be about you for once?
It was.
All right.
always about me.
Yeah, we were talking about something else too that triggered my memory, but no, I'm dead. I'm lost.
Unicorns.
I'm not sold on that whole wearable technology shit. Incidentally, our previous I want to set the record straight. Our previous argument about the iPhone and multiple models was before the iPhone 5 and which had multiple models. Our argument was about the iPhone 4S, which was one model.
No, I don't think so.
We can go back and look at the fucking
I
date.
say the fucking iPhone 5 isn't out yet.
He does
Right,
say
because it
five.
was after the iPhone 4. We were speculating about what the device that would be the iPhone 4S.
Here was the whole thing about that
We
argument.
can look at the date.
Here's the whole thing about that argument.
The whole
that we
thing about the
had.
argument was you were wrong.
Nope. The whole thing about the argument was that I was saying most of the information when it comes out, when it's leaked, is true. And you said, no, that's not true. Not all the information that comes out is true. And I said, well, give me an example that wasn't. You said, well, they leaked 2 versions of the iPhone 5. And so you're trying to prove my point wrong about something that wasn't out yet. You were trying to
Right.
say, like, this is a definite thing that was wrong, even though it wasn't out yet. That was my whole point. We lost Gavin.
Gavin and Barbara were trying to eject from the conversation.
I don't
Gavin
blame
went
you.
too far.
I don't blame you. That was the whole thing. That
Whoa,
was
whoa,
the
whoa.
whole thing.
Oh. Get
We
away.
got into this the other day with the whole senses argument, which, by the way, Twitter went apeshit about the whole 5 senses thing or 30 senses or whatever.
God.
They went crazy about it.
Yeah. Welcome back.
It's basically the whole thing I was saying about that is that senses are not a definitive class. It's like when you say that
Why-
something is a sense. I know it's so crazy, but it's like everyone. It's like
Solid third week in a row we're going for this.
here.
And then
they're driving me
fucking,
crazy about it.
And then fucking like Uberfacts or one of those goddamn accounts tweeted
They-
something
they
about
fucking
it.
mind our
They
podcast.
fucking mind for
Because they bring up the honey
information.
thing all the time
Right.
too. And I get tweeted this Uber facts like, look, it's true because a fucking Twitter account called Uber
Those fuckers tweet shit that's wrong all the
all the
goddamn
fucking
time.
all urban legends and all that.
I
stuff.
want to make a parody Twitter account that's like mega super facts.
Yeah.
And just start saying shit that proves me right all the time.
Right.
And have people retweet
Just
that.
facts.
You should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
And it's just put the word fact in it, and then it's absolutely
It's
true.
like, oh, it's true. I read it. It said fact on the internet.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, it's like, when I go back to the census thing with you, Gavin, is that I totally acknowledge you say that we feel different things, and we say that we can feel gravity. If you want to say it's a different photoreceptor or a different receptor that feels gravity in your body, it's a different neuroreceptor that does it. Okay, great. Then that means I have 1,000 senses of smell, and I also have 5 senses of taste, and I have 2 senses of vision. Why do we draw lines in one place but not the other? That's all I'm saying is that it's an arbitrary distinction of what a sense is and what a sense isn't. because you have two different photoreceptors in your eyes for rods and cones, color vision, and night vision, black and white vision. But you only have one sense of vision, right? Vision is one sense. You don't have two senses of vision. He doesn't want. I don't blame him. He doesn't want to get into it. He doesn't want to get into it.
Look, what is this?
That's I felt you touch me.
You felt it.
I felt you touch me.
Is that a sense of feel?
But you're constantly feeling what way up you are. If you were hanging upside down,
Because gravity-
nothing would be impacting on your body.
You applied a force to me, and I felt the force. This is what I'm saying. You applied the force to me, and I felt the force. The Earth is constantly applying a force to me, and that's how I feel it, because it's constantly applying the force. And so I feel that. I feel that pulling on me.
Use
That's
the
what I'm saying.
force, Earth.
And I get it. You're saying feeling temperature is a different sense. So then why isn't the sense of cold different than the sense of heat? Or if we
You
get more
can't
accurate.
see heat.
What does that mean, see heat?
You can
What does
see
that mean?
cold?
You can't see how hot something is from across the room.
But you can. You're saying sense of temperature is an actual sense.
What
that
if-
you can feel temperature.
What if something's glowing hot? Then
But
you can see how hot it is.
why would the distinction between feeling something's hot and feeling something cold is not two different
This
things?
whole discussion is stupid, Gavin.
It is a
Welcome
stupid
to the
discussion. It is a dumb discussion.
It's all about like semantics and like exceptions to rules.
So I will simply say, I retract my previous statements. I was wrong.
What do you think you're
there
saying?
are 5,000 senses. I'm now going beyond all of you. There are 45,000 senses.
You have to think interdimensionally.
Vowels are a sense.
What, one for like second dimension?
Yeah, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension.
What do you think you're going to say about it next week? Do you think?
What? I don't know.
10,000 senses.
Listen, there's been times where I
Here's
wanted.
what I like about this.
Go ahead.
I can just drop a subject, cause a little stir,
He's amazing.
and walk away, and then you have to deal with it for 3 weeks.
Gavin is the most subtle troll because I do want to go back to this because he brought up the whole like there's like for instance that we all know there's not 5 senses and you and I were like, what are you talking about, Gavin? You know what you're talking about, but there's Uberfax going doodly-dee-dee-dee. Gavin is right.
Do you run Uber facts?
So here's the thing. What was Gavin's original point? Because Gavin brought that up completely unsolicited that there's 5 senses. Where were you going with that?
Right, there's an art to podcasting.
There
Right?
it is. He literally had no point. He just wanted to bring up something we
The
would.
trick is making it look easy and natural.
So you're a consummate professional.
Yeah, I'll just I'll hear some things, I'll read some things, and be like, I'll wait for a good time to bring it up, slip it in, step back and enjoy.
That's exactly
the rewards.
It was masterful.
That
If
is
you go
sex.
back and
It's
look
like
at
sex.
The audience can also reap with me.
Good one, Gus.
it, like if
Flip it
we
in and
literally just
step
said to
back.
Gavin at that point in time, we just stopped and go, that's interesting. Gavin would have had nothing after that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That should be our new approach.
Yeah.
Everything
Oh,
Gavin
really?
brings up.
He's the dude
Tell me
like
more.
starts a
Fascinating.
forest fire, but he's got the match, and
Yeah.
you just next time we're just gonna watch it burn to his own fingers. And like,
Say the word fire
why are you bringing
around
this up,
Gus.
Gavin? Why are you bringing it up?
You also had a dream that I was fired.
I also had a dream that Barbara got fired because you went out of town
I was
for
in Canada,
the
yeah.
week before our move. And I remember you handed me your time off request. I looked at it. I looked at the dates, and I looked at you, and I said, "You fucking bitch."
Yeah.
And you said, "What?" And I said, "That's the week we're moving."
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be in Canada.
So where did you go?
I went home to Canada, to Ottawa, for Passover.
And I guess since she was gone, I had a dream like a day before we moved that Barbara got fired, and that I didn't find out until we moved to the new space and she wasn't in my office. I was like, "Where's Barbara?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, we had to let her go." And I was like, "Oh, that's
And
fucked up."
what creeped me out even more is that you said when you were younger, you used to have dreams that were premonitions. And I'm just like, no, please.
I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Maybe that was your first one.
I used to have those. I used to have those very frequently. It was really, really
so creepy.
unsettling. And people wouldn't believe me. I'd have premonition dreams and I could tell people like, listen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. They'd be like, yeah, whatever. You just guessed at it.
I would do that.
And one day, I had a dream about opening a pack of baseball cards. So I told my friends, I was like, listen, I know you don't believe me. Let's go to the store right now. I went to a store, I bought a pack of baseball cards, and I said, I'm going to name every card in this pack. And I named like 15 baseball players. And then I opened it, and then I went through them, and it was every single player I had named.
I think what's more
that was a
surprising
dream.
is that you knew 15
No.
baseball
That had to be a
players.
dream.
You can
That's
ask
not real.
Frank. Frank was there. Frank was one of the people I showed that to.
I'm not talking to Frank. Why would I talk to Frank? It's not worth
They
it.
never believed me. And also, when I was younger, at the same time, if someone fell asleep in front of me and I was looking at them, I knew what they were dreaming about.
What?
What are you on about?
Are you a shaman?
I swear to God, if someone fell asleep in
Well,
front
how
of me,
can you bring this up so casually? How can we go 250 podcasts and you never mention it?
You
I
did.
just
You
talked-
definitely did mention this on
have
podcast
mentioned it
before.
before.
How did you lose this ability?
Oh,
Yeah?
Hey,
I started drinking.
You didn't see
you
that
had
coming?
superpowers and
I did not
alcohol
see that
related.
coming.
If I drink this beer, I'm not
killed
gonna...
the,
I got a
the
big
higher brain function.
I got a big blank spot after I drink this beer. Well, let's see it.
More.
Let's see it. So what did you ever use this for anything?
No, just like
It's stupid.
tricks, just like to entertain people for fun.
It's not real. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either.
Let's talk to Frank.
I believe you.
I have other friends that no one here knows, but like we can go if we go to Eagle Pass. We can talk to them.
No one. Is it Frank? No.
Hey, is your phone fixed already?
No, my phone's cracked.
Oh.
Thanks for
How'd
bringing
you
it up.
crack it?
Gavin always makes fun of me because I put a case on my phone. I have this wallet case, which, by the way, every time I show the wallet case, people ask me what it is. It's a boost case. And so I put a case on my phone because I got tired of... I have never retired a phone. I've only ever broken a phone and then had to buy a new one. That's how I upgrade all my phones.
That's isn't okay.
It's absolutely true. I broke it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very rough with my phones. So I put a case on it because I was sick of that. And I just wanted to make it through a generation. I buy iPhones. I have an iPhone 5. I wanted to skip the iPhone S, which everyone complains about, including you.
Why? What's wrong with it?
What?
I love the 5S.
It's awesome.
I thought you guys hate the fingerprint sensor.
No,
and
it's
all that.
awesome.
It's the bomb. Yeah, it doesn't work all the time. Who cares? The phone's
That's
great.
literally
Nah,
one sentence.
I'm not
My
buying it.
password
bomb
works all the
does not
time.
work. Yeah,
you have
I'm
to use a password on
I'm
that
not
one.
buying it for the fingerprint sensor.
So you guys would recommend buying a 5S?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about waiting until
Well,
the
not now, obviously.
This is why I've been reading iPhone rumors.
just wait at this point.
Is the 6, the rumoring that it's going to go up to 4.7 inches, and then there's going to be a 5.5 version of the phone.
So there's going to be
They're just going bigger.
3 phones?
They're going bigger with the iPhone.
Are they still going to make the C?
I don't know. The rumor didn't say. I don't want to speculate because I don't know. Thank you.
Nice save.
So how'd you break your phone?
So my case was getting all completely fucked up. Like the corners were chipped and all that stuff. So I was like, I gotta make it to the next generation without breaking my phone. So I went out and bought a new case. While I was switching the phone between cases, I dropped the phone and broke it. While I was like for the 5 seconds I was between
You're
it.
so stupid.
And Ashley was just like, that was really terrible. That was unbelievable that just happened.
I
And was
bet
like,
you were legitimately mad.
It was like,
It's a principle thing, though, because
yeah,
Have you
totally
ever
was.
have you ever cracked a screen on a phone?
me personally, no.
Do you use a case?
No.
I've never cracked a screen either.
I did crack my last phone, but that's because Jeff threw it up in the air.
Oh, that's. There was that
remember he
app
used to just
for a
take it and go,
while. It was on the iOS App Store. It got removed, but I think you can still get it on the Google Play Store. It's called Send Me to Heaven, where it's a game you can download and it measures how high you throw your phone, and you get a high score based on how high it goes in
sounds
the air.
horrible.
How does it measure that? Like,
Apple
how,
It
makes
uses the accelerometer.
how long this accelerometer is in free
I guess
fall?
so. It's basically just a game where you try to throw your phone as high in the air as you can and catch it.
That's brilliant.
And they took that down.
You can't get it on the iOS on the App Store anymore, but you can still get. If you have an Android phone, you can
What?
still
They
get
should
it.
leave that in. They'd make a fortune.
They would. They should buy the company and make it like on the dashboard.
Yeah.
They should make it
It's
part
like
of the
In the
pre-installed.
They should
Yeah.
say if you can throw it 1,000 meters, you get a free one. You get like
You
a
throw
free-
a phone fucking 1,000 meters in the air.
A lot of people would try. They'd be like catapulting it and
Did you ever,
trebuchets.
when you were growing up, did you ever have kids that tell you stuff that you just like was stupid, but you believed it anyway?
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, like you can cut a worm in half and it'll be 2 worms.
It will be.
I never had to look that up to
2
find
dead
out if it was
worms.
real. I was just like 16 one day and I was like, well, there's no way that was true.
Like, are you talking about an earthworm?
Yeah.
Because there is a worm that does that.
What
Yeah.
worm?
A planarian worm.
Plat-
Planarian. It's like
Planarian.
it's a little arrow-shaped worm. It's tiny little microscopic things, and you cut it. It's a biology experiment. You cut them in half, and then they go. They're just little bitty. They're not microscopic, but they're just tiny.
Mitosis is.
Meiosis and mitosis.
What were we talking about? I felt like we were going somewhere with that.
Throwing your phone in the
Of
air?
your dreams?
Yeah, I would like to get an app where you could skip it on water like a stone. How far it'll go, like that.
There are so many dumb
That's
apps.
a planarian right there. You ever seen a planarian before?
No.
No,
It's
okay.
like a tiny
Yeah, look
slug.
at that. It looks so familiar.
It's a non-parasitic flatworm. It's also a
And-
common name for a member of the genus Planaria.
So what makes it live twice?
What's that?
What makes it happen?
It just grows back.
What
and,
makes
like,
it live
grows back.
twice?
Do starfish also do that?
Starfish, they will grow out from the core. Like
Okay.
you can cut off all the legs of a starfish, and they will grow back. Starship. Jefferson
But
starfish.
the leg of a starfish will not grow corn.
Yes, you won't end
Oh,
up
there's a flipodectic in this thing. Was it?
planarian. I don't think that's a planarian though. The thing they're showing us.
It looks like a hammerhead worm.
The
It
diagrams.
does look like a hammerhead worm.
Planaria can be cut into pieces, and each piece can regenerate into a complete organism.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
why did
Don't
do
you think
that?
they cut off your arm and like then you have another Gus? You have to go find it and kill it.
Yeah,
Another
absolutely.
Gus.
I would burn that fucking arm. Like
So
that shit's
don't-
not coming back.
Why do those worms just eat themselves in half a lot?
Why don't they eat themselves?
Why don't they
in
do
half
if
a
they
lot?
can be 5 worms? Why don't they just cut the crap out of themselves?
If you could reproduce or regenerate like that, would you eat yourself in half a lot? Would you do that?
Like, they can't get a knife and cut themselves in half. I'm trying to think of how they would get themselves in half.
If you had the ability to cut yourself down the middle and make 2 Gavins,
Yeah, you're like, I'm really
would you do
hungry,
it?
but I don't want to go to lunch.
I-
I'm just gonna cut my leg off
My
and eat
favorite
that.
part of that question is a lot.
Eat yourself in half a lot.
A lot.
All the time.
Not just once, just every.
Well, I ate myself
you
in half
said
for
you did it
lunch,
5 times.
but it's dinner, so I'll eat myself in half
Yeah.
again.
I don't want to have the same thing again for dinner.
I'm asking you a question. I'm not letting you out of this. If you could eat yourself in half, I think you said it. I
Why
don't even
would
know
I
what it
do
means.
it? I'm not an animal trying to
You're
make
the
more.
one who said it.
They're
I'm
not,
already a
they're not
human.
trying to
I've
make
already-
more of themselves.
I'm already a human.
He's not like a planarian trying to become a human by eating itself in half a
All
lot.
animals do. The only
Levels up.
job of every animal on the planet is to make another one of itself.
I
That's
think you're
all
saying to
animals
become a
do.
human.
No,
Reproduce?
I don't have to do that. I'm a human. All right, I can choose. But a worm has to make more worms.
I don't understand the distinction. I'm
What are you
asking
on
you
about?
a question
I
as the
think
human.
he's trying to say that it's like a form of reproduction for them.
Yeah, we've got to a point where we don't have to reproduce. The damn world's overpopulated.
Oh, you're saying they're driven by like some kind of
humans
reproductive...
won the planet. Humans ruined and won this one.
It's pretty bad.
So I don't have to reproduce. A worm and a bird, they have to reproduce.
I read about some Arabian royalty dude who went on a hunt and he killed like 2,100 of an endangered species or a protected species.
What?
It was some bird.
Well, they said
Oh,
that,
fuck birds.
They said they're bringing back the dodo.
I'm with you.
I hate
Bringing
birds.
back the
They're bringing
dodo.
back the dodo, aren't
It's
they?
back in
Because
style.
Are they?
It's going to cost so much money to bring it back, but they said they can make it all back, make all the money back with zoos. Because people would pay a lot of money to see the only dodo.
Would they pay a lot of money, or would they just pay zoo admission?
Yeah,
It's like, I'll pay $6 to see that.
They would pay zoo admission and make the money back.
I went and I got the pizza. I met the delivery guy outside when
where
our
is
pizza
it?
showed up for the podcast. It's here next door.
Eastside Pies?
And
East Side Pies?
And I met the guy, and I'm out there like getting the pizza, signing the credit card receipt, and there's a fucking bird on the top of stage 5, literally like right at the peak where the roof comes up to the highest point. It's looking down at me. It's got some shit in its mouth, and it's just screaming at me. I'm like, what the fuck is this bird's problem?
Little animals hate you.
It is screaming. I
Why
can't.
would
I
not-
don't know why
Look.
it could make a noise that loud and keep the shit in its mouth at the same time.
As
It's
a
like, how
human-
are you not having to open your mouth to make this noise?
As a human, you can never be allowed, you can never be mad at nature.
I can be mad at nature all the time.
Why?
We got a lot of rules for humans today.
Have you
I can't
met
eat
Gus?
myself in half, and I can't be
You
mad
can't
at
eat yourself.
nature.
Well, it's
You can't
not-
eat yourself in half a lot.
A lot.
Why can't I be mad at nature?
Because it's nature.
Fuck nature.
No, that's not true. I'm with Gus because if you get, listen, we have to protect the environment. But if you gave, like, I don't know, like a meerkat the choice, hey, do you want to let
Meerkat.
lions, a meerkat, if you want to let lions go extinct, they'd be like, fuck yeah, let's do
Meerkat
that.
is pugnant.
It's like, what about tigers? How about they go extinct? Meerkat's like, fucking everything, go extinct. What do I give a shit? Every animal would vote every other animal out of existence if they could. You
Yeah.
know they would.
Racist.
Well, that's why I'm okay with letting animals go extinct. Don't waste the money on trying to save them.
So you're okay with that, but I say fuck nature and you get mad at me?
But that's nature.
Because you're annoyed with the existing nature. Look, an animal going extinct is nature.
No, it's wait a minute.
What are you saying? You're contradicting yourself.
Yeah. So do you think a human is like outside of nature?
It is now.
It is now. So
As soon
humans
as
are one thing
As
and
soon as technology happened, like a computer and that,
technology happened. What do you think was the first technology? Like
like a wheel or something.
that's it. So that's technology started.
Well, I mean, an animal never invented a wheel.
Well, a fire.
Yeah, or so
Oh
you
no, they
think?
can make balls, can't they?
Yeah.
Birds and that.
Did you see that video of that? Was it a?
Dung beetles made a wheel.
There was some animal that was like on Reddit the other day, thinking of like human ways to escape a pen.
It was a cat.
No, it wasn't a cat. What was it?
Human ways.
Oh, it was an animal that surprised with the way he would get out. I want to say it was like a sloth or something.
No.
A badger.
Badger.
It was a badger.
Honey badger.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And the ways it would devise to get out of captivity was amazing to the researchers.
yeah.
What would it do?
I don't know. I don't
Just
know.
like it would use its like resources around
She
it.
read it. She's telling
It
the
was a
story.
video. It was a video.
It didn't give a fuck.
It just bit a snake's head
That
off.
joke is definitely not overplayed.
Wow. Fucking Barbara burned you.
What were the ways it got out?
It would like take like sticks and stuff or that was around, it was like outside somewhere, and it would form like a bridge to get out of this place, just to escape captivity.
They formed a relationship.
It was
with one of the
extremely
guards.
impressive.
It was a long play.
You got a post.
Or like there was one where there was two of them, and one like was holding the door at the bottom while the other climbed up to unlock it and climb back down.
started
and then they
carving
left
chess
together.
pieces.
To me, the craziest like escape thing that I've ever seen is that video of the octopus that's in an aquarium and it sees fish in the other aquarium on the other side of the room.
Yep.
And it would like crawl out of the aquarium, crawl on the floor, crawl up, go into the other aquarium, eat fish, then get back out and go back into its own aquarium.
That's fucking awesome.
It would
Well,
go.
they did the thing with the jars, didn't they? Where they put
Yeah.
crabs in jars and octopuses were just like, give me the jar.
Listen, we said before on the podcast long ago that I would fight any animal. Like I feel like I could take it on. I would like even a shark in water. I feel like
What about an
How?
octopus?
Honestly, how?
I got a
What
shot.
if
I got
Bruce
a
is
shot.
in your face?
I'm not saying I could kill it. I'm not gonna kill a shark in water, but I keep it from killing me. That's the main thing.
How?
Right? I
What
just do
if
it.
James Bond
hit on
is
the
in your
nose?
face?
Shark's nose is very sensitive.
You can't hit underwater.
One thing I would
You
do-
hit like this fast.
I would never, ever, ever, ever fight an octopus. That's to me, an octopus is so weird.
Octopus don't get that huge though,
You're talking
right?
about
They
giant
do.
squid.
Oh, you giant squid.
Giant squid, yeah, those.
It's the beak that's like awful. That's like the only hard part of the octopus. An octopus can go through any hole that its beak can fit through. It can. What are you talking about?
That's crazy. Like imagine you go through any hole that your nose could fit through.
I
So
wouldn't
like
be able to get through very small.
this,
I was gonna
this
say, there's not very
corridor,
many
this
holes.
entry right here, you could get through.
They say the same thing about cats. If a cat can get its head through something, it can get its whole body through.
No, it's whiskers.
Whiskers. That's part of the head.
It's like, yeah, it's a head
Whiskers
extension.
are wider than the head.
I know, you're right. I knew it was something like that, but it's like, yeah. If a
That's
cat
what
gets,
whiskers are for in a cat.
Oh, I thought you meant just like the tiny whiskers, like I get you through.
yeah, if it can fit its whiskers to a pencil hole, then it can go through that.
It's like me. If I fit my fucking beard stubble through a hole, I'm set. I'm golden.
Yeah, is it true if you cut a cat's whiskers, they don't grow back?
Don't stop cutting whiskers off cats. Oh, no.
No, fuck nature.
Well,
Fuck,
stop
fuck
Cutting
whiskers.
worms in half, cutting whiskers off cats. Let's just leave it.
A lot.
Can't do that. I'm gonna read this real quick though. Saudi prince has poached over 2,100 internationally protected Hubara bustards. It's a bird. That's a bird
a
right
bustard?
there. Hubara bustards.
Hubara
In a 21-day hunting safari in Balochistan. Anybody know where Balochistan
No.
is?
So he killed 2,100 in 20 days? That's 100 a day?
Yeah, he was a dick.
What did they do to him?
I'm guessing they find him some amount of money that he doesn't care about.
No. What did those birds do
Oh,
to him?
they probably
What is it?
yelled
It's
at him
like,
from the roof.
I'm going to
probably-
kill 2,100 of
Probably the
those.
sigil of someone else's house or something.
This is Game of Thrones.
The total bustards hunted by Prince
Bustards.
Fahd bin Abdul.
That bird's a bustard.
You gotta hear this name.
Sounds like it.
It's like
Prince-
Buster and Bastard in
His
one
name
word.
is Prince Fahd bin Abdul Sultan bin Abdul Aziz Al Saad. 1,977 birds is what he killed himself, and then his local representatives killed 123.
Does he just not like those birds? What's going
What the
on?
fuck do with a machine gun? He's
Yeah.
out there.
It's like fishing with dynamite.
First of all, if something is protected and endangered, and you can find 2,100 of them in 21 days,
yeah.
get them off the list.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Maybe
2,100.
now they're endangered.
Also,
Maybe
do you think
the
he's like,
majority of
do you
them.
think he's bragging? He killed like 1927 or whatever, and the rest of the dudes he was with killed like 180.
Yeah,
It's like, how is it this one dude killed almost 2,000 of them, and everyone else is like, oh yeah, they killed a few.
shooting hand grenades.
Do you think, you know how the worst thing you can do as a guy is say that you don't like dogs?
No.
Because girls just like dogs by nature.
I don't think
and-
that's a bad thing to say. Well, it
No.
depends. I don't
well,
know.
Why
it's
dogs?
advised against telling a girl that you don't like dogs.
Because they equate that to kids, which I think is probably a worse thing to say. Like, I hate
Ah.
children.
I
Do you
hate
think
children.
you would ever get laid again if you said, I went on vacation and I killed 1,000 tigers?
I don't think you would, no.
I think you would.
I'm sure you would.
Unless you gave somebody a tiger coat. That would be pretty cool.
Also, the fact that you killed 1,000 tigers. That's manly as fuck.
Oh, is it?
So you're into that.
Yeah.
If some dude at a bar was like, hey, check this out. I just killed 1,000
Most people
tigers.
have never seen a tiger. Hey, I went on holiday. I killed 1,000 tigers.
Well, first of all, I know that they'd be bullshitting.
I don't know how they killed the tigers.
No, they're not. What if he's got a picture, 1,000
Strangled it.
pictures of him with tigers? Like, there's 1, 2, and all of them, 1,000.
Yeah, my pants are off.
So that's all it takes.
prove
1,000
my point
tigers.
at all.
There's your mission.
Yeah, your point got disproven.
I'm not a very typical lady, though. So,
It's true, you're not.
no, I'm not very classy, so.
How many
very
tigers are left in the world? Let's find out. This is a stat that's going
I
to
gotta know. Are there 1,000?
Oh, man, I saw a terrible, terrible documentary the other day.
Fuck the internet. I hate looking stuff up on the internet sometimes. I get to one of those goddamn ask answer
Oh,
sites.
God.
And it's like, how many tigers are left in the world? The first answer is, I don't know, man. Why do you answer the question? It is not mandatory to answer the question. I don't understand that.
I saw, I watched the Vice documentary series on HBO, and they did an episode where they talked about rhino poaching. And the increase in rhino deaths as people get more money in like China and Asian countries because they want to buy rhino horn for Eastern medicine.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
So they don't all the time. They don't always just kill the rhino and chop the horn off. Sometimes while they'll tranquilize the rhino. While it's asleep, they'll cut the fucking horn off, like half of its face, and leave it there still alive. And it wakes up, like staggering around, half its face fucking bloody.
That's
it was
terrible.
absolutely, and they show it. It was fucking gross.
It's terrible.
What kind, like probably like the ranger who comes across and finds like the rhino. It's like, what kind of monster does that and just leaves like a fucking animal?
I've seen a picture of an
like
elephant
that.
like that. It was because I guess to take the tusks, you'd basically just have to remove quite a lot of the skull. And they end up with just like, it's easier just to hack the face off the elephant.
Guys, I gotta level with you. When it comes to human-animal interaction, there's basically our relationship with dogs, cats, some birds, and the rest of it is pretty horrible. I mean, it's like there's really not much else left that's good.
Yeah,
it's pretty much human encounters animal and destroys it.
But
and
it's
then
okay
eats
if
it.
you eat the animal.
Is it? Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
because like an animal that kills another animal in the jungle won't try and sell parts of it.
Like they won't cut off the rhino's horn and leave it the rest of it.
Right, they're gonna kill it. They're not gonna just leave it there to die slowly in agony.
Do you think
Or
there's
it's like
some
those fish sushi videos where you can eat a piece of fish that's still flapping,
I
and
think
the fish
that's-
is still swimming around.
I think that's horrible. That really speaks to me like on a level. I saw a video like that where the fish was alive and the people are eating it.
Yeah.
That really that's horrifying.
Or like a toad or something.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, even like there's some octopus or squid that they'll eat. First of all, I could never put something living in my mouth while it's like trying not to go in my mouth and eat it. That just seems horrible.
Isn't there there's a scene in the I've never seen the remake of Old Boy, but I think in the Korean version of Old Boy there's a scene like that, isn't there? Where the guy eats the octopus and it's like fighting him.
Good lord.
Well, if the throat is bigger than the beak, then
Then it's
They
got a
go
chance.
through. God, there's not much that goes on though between human and animals. That's like really noble. It's not a lot. Some horses
Horses
do.
are good.
Yeah, that's
Well,
about
When
it.
you said noble, it
apart from all
reminded
the
me.
preservations and stuff,
What's that?
and animal shelters and stuff, that's all pretty good.
Yeah, but we put them in the zoo because we killed the rest of them, and so we shelter the few that are left.
Or
That's-
they've gone extinct and we're bringing them back from the dead at great cost so that people can pay to come see them.
Pretty much that's where we are now. Like I read a whole thing about this guy caught a bluefin tuna that was enormous. It was bigger than he was. And talking about like tuna's one of those things that's going to be gone in our lifetime.
In our lifetime.
Yeah.
Probably.
Tuna. Well, the big thing is, which I think you would appreciate, I definitely appreciate, is that they say Atlantic cod is going to be gone pretty soon.
How
And
am I
that
gonna get
only
my
makes me
number
want to
10?
eat Atlantic cod more every time I see it.
Is that a type of food you get?
Jersey Mike's.
Oh.
Number 10.
When
What is?
Tuna fish.
Yeah.
When I was in Tokyo, I went to the fish market out there. It's this huge. I don't know if y'all went when you were there, but it's this. I think it's like the biggest fish market in the world.
Gavin and I were in Tokyo for 30 hours.
And you can go out there, and it's where all the fishermen come and they bring their catch, and it's like right there. The fish are there, and they're like cutting them up and just like literally pulling off like pieces of sashimi to sell it to restaurants.
Really?
It's huge and it's crazy. And I saw so many. I didn't realize how big tuna were
They're big.
until I was walking around that fucking market. They are massive.
How many-
Those are giant fish.
How many cans do they fill per fish?
Like a little tuna fish
Yeah.
can. If I had to guess based on what I saw, they could probably fill like 1,000 cans.
It's misleading. how
Off
you
of
can-
one fish?
Of what I saw, yeah.
Like some things when you've got the final product, you don't know how much of that thing went into it. Like the opposite of a tuna, which I guess fills tons of cans, is orange juice, dude. It takes like
yeah.
10 oranges to get a glass of orange juice.
Did you know that orange juice, even if it's labeled like 100% orange juice, it's not always just 100% orange juice?
Yeah.
They have these things they call flavor packs,
What?
which they can put into 100% orange juice and still counts as 100%
I think they
orange
do that with
juice.
like Tropicana,
Yeah, like
Florida
it
orange juice,
helps
like all that
like
stuff.
make the color what you're expecting, and it helps like your sense of smell and your sense of taste accept it as orange juice.
So what does normal orange juice look like?
I think it's more of
It's
like
fresh. You
a
can squeeze orange juice.
Yeah, it's it's a more watery looking. It's not
Yeah,
exactly what
a little
you
more clear,
would
I
So
expect.
what does concentrate mean when it's from concentrate?
I think
Because they can say 100% freshly squeezed from concentrate, and it doesn't mean it means it's not.
It
freshly
means they were
squeezed.
thinking really, really hard when they made
But
it.
what is that? process?
basically okay. So if you have freshly squeezed orange juice, you take half an orange. You take half an orange. You put it in the little dome thing, and you just go squish, and you squeeze it. And you get a little.
What do you do?
Squish, and then you get out of this half of an orange, you get about that much juice, like
Yeah.
nothing. Concentrate is basically they probably take everything, the peel and everything, just huck it in there, and then grind it up, and then use that to make things. But basically, they take the whole thing and just mush it way down, so it makes.
So
the
it
whole...
is oranges.
Oh, it's still. I assume it's oranges. Yeah.
So I think concentrate is like they freeze it or dehydrate it and then reapply water to like make it
seems
fresh
like-
again. I'm told we have a picture of a giant tuna.
I sent them a picture of bluefin tuna. That's not it.
Oh, that is not it.
Look at the one I sent Patrick versus the one he put up. That's the one I sent him.
Oh,
That's a way
wow.
bigger fish. In fact, I was showing Barbara. I showed her some on my laptop like this, and she looks. She goes. Her eyes got like this big. I was hoping the audience would figure out.
I think it was on the
two
two-shot.
There we go. No offense to the guys who selected
yelling at Patrick. Jesus.
Hey, Patrick, we love you.
So
that could have a man in it.
When we were moving
men.
to this space, I thought, Monday is our first full day. You will definitely not have the podcast set ready. I thought, but by Wednesday, we should definitely be ready for the patch. I don't know, man. There are so many
Another one in
boxes.
here. Yeah.
Boxes of what?
Equipment and crap. I mean, look out there. It's just filled.
Also, like the sets
Yeah.
still have a long way to go.
Where are the sets?
You see that giant crate right there?
Yeah.
That's it.
Ah, it's in a box still.
It's in a box still. It's over there.
The podcast set was actually designed as a convention booth as well.
Right.
Because we go on tour with it. It just turned out to be like a ridiculous amount of money to ship it.
It was crazy.
And like a
think we
pain in
just-
the ass to disassemble.
It's a pain in the ass to find a truck that can hold it. Because
it is.
that crate is so big, you have to make sure you have to find a trailer, like an 18-wheeler trailer, that doesn't have a roll-up top that has like bay doors that open, like barn-style doors that open, because that thing barely fits in the trailer. And if it has like that roll-up door, it doesn't fit.
I wonder
Wow.
how many people know that one of our longtime community members designed our podcast set.
That's true.
Martha Marin.
I wouldn't
Martha.
call her a community member at this point.
Well, not at this point, but
Well,
she was
she's also
for a
part of
long time.
Trocadero.
And Trocadero, yeah.
Musician, maybe.
What are you saying? There's something wrong with being a part? Are you not part of the community? You're a longtime community member, now an employee.
Would you refer to me as a community member?
I would say you got your start as a community member. Yeah.
Would you continue to say that?
Well, you're an
Like,
employee of Rooster Teeth now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're a community member,
Okay.
but you were a longtime member
Okay.
of the community as well.
All right.
Martha's actually super active. Like, I think Martha discovered Red vs. Blue and Rooster Teeth via a gig that she had for making music for the show, but then she became super active in the community.
I saw her in Boston. I gave her a hug.
I saw her in Boston as well, and she
I'm
was out with
jealous.
2 other community members. She was out with Jenga and Roadblock.
Nice.
Roadblock was in Boston.
Yeah, he was.
I missed him.
Mr.
I
Jonathan
always-
Cerna.
I always see him.
An OU fan, unfortunately for him.
Did you say Sherna?
Cerna.
Okay.
I see some people are saying that the squid you're talking about is actually dead, and sodium and soy sauce makes the mussels freak out. That is a type of squid, but there are also live squid that are eaten.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen that as well.
I've seen like you
Touche.
jab it with a.
I
I know the one thing with the pour the thing and it goes.
Yeah, that's
And the fish I was talking about that was alive while it was eaten, it wasn't on the plate. It was literally they cut the side of the fish off, serve it to you, and the fish continues to live in a tank.
yeah. They
That's
put it in the tank.
horrible.
And it just doesn't have one side.
Kill
And
the
it
animal.
lives until you cut the other side
Super
off.
fresh.
That is the one thing, honestly, that worries me the most about alien ship showing up on Earth, is that if an alien showed up here on Earth, I would not want them to see the way that we interact with every other species on Earth.
Well, they wouldn't see the same way.
What does that mean?
What makes you think an alien could see
Because I can see.
with vision?
Because
Like,
everything on our planet can see, so I'm just using it as a frame of
If they
reference.
interpret the data they receive about our treatment of animals, is that a more safe
But it
statement
wouldn't-
to make?
No, it wouldn't matter though.
Okay.
It's like if a lion, like they're saying, if a lion
If
could
their
talk,
sense of morality is offended by our sense
Do
of
you-
kindness,
Instead of us trying to get what you're saying, do you get what I'm saying? How about that? Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah, but it's irrelevant because they wouldn't see the same way.
You don't think they might not? They might not. They could see exactly the same way. They could see exactly
Well,
the same
like
way.
an alien would have human eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
A
And they look
bat
just like
doesn't see
humans.
the same way as we do. What do you think an alien would?
Maybe they're what planted life on this planet.
Maybe they would see even better than we do.
a lot of animals on this planet see like we do.
Also, it's
What's that,
like
Gavin?
the same way where they say if a lion could talk English, you wouldn't understand it.
You know what I'm
You know
saying?
the old saying. My grandmother used to tell me that all the time when I was a little kid. If a lion could talk English, you wouldn't be able to understand it.
I think the correct saying is
we all grew up with that.
if a lion could talk English, then you wouldn't understand.
Like,
The old saying.
yeah, it's like a famous quote, isn't it?
It is.
Like, a lion-
It's the motto for the San Antonio Zoo. Believe it or not.
I think it's printed on a plaque outside the UN headquarters, right, in New York. If a lion could talk English, you couldn't understand it.
That's what Teddy Roosevelt would yell every time we went to battle.
If a lion is talking.
You watch, we're gonna look like assholes. This is actually gonna be a famous quote.
It probably is.
Uberfax is gonna tweet it tonight, and then we're gonna get it fucking sent to us.
75% of the time we make fun of Gavin.
Look it
wrong.
up. Look it up. If lions could talk
That's
Let's-
English.
something well good as well.
This will be. We haven't done a Gavin or Google. We'll done a Gavin or Google in a long time. I'm like, if
Did
a lion.
Socrates know what a lion was? Like
Who wouldn't know what a lion was?
some dude living
Thought
in.
complete. If a lion
Could talk.
All right. If a lion could talk, we wouldn't be able to understand it. It is an actual thing in Google. It is a philosophical investigation. All right.
Suck it.
Here's all I want to know. Where did you
I
hear
think
that?
I'm going to give my sources. Do you think I want you delving into my subjects before I brought them up? It's all about timing, all right?
It's all about, you make it look easy,
They're all up
Gavin.
here, and then it's a slow release.
He sensed it was time.
It might be 2 or 3 podcasts till I unleash another one on it.
All right. Point to Gavin again. We're gonna actually.
Who said it?
It's a rare occasion. Who said it? Do you know?
Don't know.
God, I just want to know. I'm gonna find out where you found this information out, and you fucking spring this shit on it.
Find out afterwards.
Ludwig Wittgenstein. I'm just gonna guess that is a
Yeah.
correct pronunciation of that.
Morgan
I
Heckengord.
almost mispronounced pronunciation. Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Promotion.
It's from the book Philosophical Investigations, highly influential work of the 20th century by philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. In it, Wittgenstein discusses numerous problems and puzzles in the fields of semantics, logic, that's right up your alley, philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of psychology, philosophy of action, and philosophy of the mind. And he talks about if lines could speak, we could not understand them. The common saying. I don't know if it's a common saying, but it was said by some dude in a book.
My
people know about
grandmother said it all the time. Too.
What does it mean?
I can't tell if you're being
does it
sarcastic.
mean?
Oh God, no.
Just like the style of life is so different. Like you would have completely different values.
Like if I
Nothing-
talked to an
nothing
Eskimo,
would be-
it would all be like, he'd want to know about
Yeah,
my ice.
Nothing would be relatable. You wouldn't
Right.
be able to relate to a lion on any form, apart from let's not get killed.
Eating?
No,
No. Why not?
because we don't eat the same way a lion does.
But
It's like,
the-
oh,
I
look,
do.
that thing walking over there looks delicious. You don't do that.
Like
I do that.
interpretation
I
of how
see
life-
You wouldn't be
hamburger
able to
sitting there?
communicate on that level with it. Like I think if we met a human from a like one of these untouched, I read a horrible thing too about the untouched tribes. That
Oh.
once we come in contact with them, like 95% of them are just decimated.
So
dead
what made
within
me-
6
Well, it's what
months?
happens with Americans.
What
isn't
that
it?
made me think about. Sorry, shut up. I want to go on a
Sorry,
branch off of
shut
this.
up.
So that made me
got
think about
real.
something. If benevolent aliens
Benevolent aliens,
showed up tomorrow,
like
On the-
Canadians.
what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, benevolent,
What'd you
like
say?
kind aliens show up to help us tomorrow, 95% of humanity would die.
Probably, or the aliens would die.
Right. It's like there's a no-win scenario there. Even if they want to help us and be good, either we get wiped out or they get wiped out.
Well, we're too advanced. We're too easily insulted.
We're too advanced
And
for a species
We're too easily
that has traveled
insulted.
Yeah.
between planets.
like they would do something. We would see it as like, oh, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, we would totally win that.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, why do you assume they have
We do
better
in the
guns
movies.
than we do?
All right, if aliens invaded Earth, America would kill them.
I don't know about
So
that.
it does make you wonder, like, what
Forget.
is this planet really run by? The majority of the planet is microorganisms. Because even you're just like this disgusting colony of microorganisms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Gus
they outnumber everything else on the planet, like, what, a billion to
Even
one?
insects outnumber us like a
Yeah,
crazy
But
number.
we're the perfect size.
How are we the
We are the
For
perfect
us.
size for us.
No, in relation to water.
Go on.
Well, like, if we were really small, a cup of water would be like just one drip, and you could just be like, it would just be like this big, wouldn't it? But if we were a whale,
Yeah.
water would be smaller.
Go on. So, what advantage do we have being the correct proportionate size to water as opposed to a whale?
No, listen. Everybody who watches the podcast says Gavin always has brilliant ideas. He just can't explain them well. I want to know what that specifically means.
That's what I'm pursuing.
For a whale-
What advantage do we have versus a whale?
Well, think about it
Different
like this:
aspect. Okay, a whale.
would
the
be
blue
smaller.
the blue whale is the biggest, right? The biggest thing, not only that is alive today, but
Ever.
that ever lived.
Yeah.
Why is there nothing bigger? Because water would be too small.
For what?
No, but no, what I asked was, what advantage do we have because water is the correct size
Water
for
is
us?
the-
Wouldn't something smaller than us have the biggest waters?
What?
Right. No, I go what you're saying.
So
Like,
if I was half my
wa-
size, water would be
It
enormous.
would be twice the size.
It's
Right.
way more. You don't have to worry about it. You need less of it.
Like double as much.
Well,
Right.
If you were really small, you could drown really easily
In what? Water?
in a globule.
What if I'm so small that I don't drown in water, but the molecules are the same size as me, so I just bump into them? Like,
Yeah,
excuse
like
me.
you have
Like
such
an
light
ant.
surface tension that you just like
How
walk
big
on.
do you think a molecule is? An ant?
No, like an ant could have a globule that could get stuck in it.
How do you find a globule? You don't think there's a globule of water big enough for me?
like water will be in globules.
We're talking about
and-
the scientific definition of a globule.
globules.
No, water will be different sized globules until it is too big to be a globule,
And
then
then
it
it
will
becomes
flow.
what?
It will just be two, or it will drip away and become a small one.
So, okay, so
Like,
in
it's
the science book it
critical mass
says
of
water is a globule until it is two or it drips away.
He's talking about a freestanding drop of water where the
Like,
surface tension of water.
How big can one glob of water be?
A globule. I'm answering your question. You said how big can a glob of water be? A globule.
Have you ever seen a sphere of water that you can hold that's this big? No, because it would just be like.
Okay.
But
So,
don't you think ant has more to me because they can carry water that is held together with nothing more than surface tension?
Yeah, but we're bigger than that.
Right?
but isn't that an advantage, being able to carry water?
It's an ant
Without,
advantage.
we would never need.
Imagine if you could just hold like a beer that was a globule of beer. You're like,
Oh my god! Think about that. If you could hold in your hands a sphere of beer with no cup and you just like out of the middle of it, you would love that. That's an advantage an ant has over us. So you say we're the perfect size. Ants are arguably more
But
perfect
the
size.
people eat ants. Like birds eat them.
You're changing the subject.
No. He's talking about the different advantages
We're,
of being
we're
different
talking about the
sizes.
advantages in relation to water and liquids.
So you think the main advantage that humans have where we dominate the planet is that we're the perfect size?
Yeah.
It's not intellect or anything. Like if we were 10 feet tall, 30 feet tall like
Well,
a giraffe.
a blue whale has a bigger brain than a human. Doesn't
Right?
make it smarter though.
Nope.
Well,
it
brain
doesn't.
size doesn't correlate with intelligence.
Because of the size of the water, though. If you think about it,
Okay.
relative,
I got you.
relativistically.
We are the perfect size for water.
Size is important. You think size? You don't think it's a matter of perspective on your part? That you are this size, so that seems like the standard for size, and
But
everything
we
else.
evolved to this side one and then stopped. Like, are we gonna get bigger?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
humans gonna get bigger?
Humans have gotten bigger.
Humans have definitely gotten bigger.
Taller.
How much bigger are they gonna get?
We know, 5 times as big.
Like, is that projections?
I don't know. You're catching me off guard here. If you go to the Texas Capitol, you can see how much bigger humans have gotten.
There's a little globule.
There are safety rails in the Texas State Capitol to prevent people from falling over, except they were built when the Capitol was built, and they're really fucking low.
Now,
was like Victorian
now they look
houses.
like something that's designed to trip you.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
why is there this fucking rail at my knees?
Yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
anything,
fall
it's
over
gonna
this.
make you fall. But yeah, like Victorian houses, you have to duck to get in them
Right.
because they're well small.
And that's, in a geologic perspective, that's a tiny, tiny
Your house, too,
frame
is
of reference.
tiny.
My house is tiny. My house was,
But you're over 6 feet tall.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like extremely short. Like all the doorways are like,
it's a tiny
Perfect for Esther.
yeah.
I am at a disadvantage in that house. I am not the perfect size for it. All right, well, we should wrap things up here.
Someone's correcting me on my pronunciation of Wittgenstein. They said it's pronounced Wittgenstein.
Stein.
Oh,
So I don't understand. It's the same thing.
Now
And
for
their
the
philosophy professor would be very pissed at you for that pronunciation, Bernie. It's like saying
How dare you.
Wittgenstein. Well, guess what? I don't give a fuck about your philosophy professor. Send him down here. I'll beat the fuck out of that little panty waist. How about that? I like them apples.
all right, well, it's time to wrap. I'm hoping that we have our set put up for next week. Hopefully we will. If not, we'll be back in the moving van.
Yeah.
Philosophy
But
professor.
we'll be back. We'll definitely be here on Wednesday for the patch, and next week for another episode of RT Podcast. So thanks everyone for joining.
Bye,
We'll see y'all next
everyone.
time.
I love you.
Happy egg.
Bye. Happy egg.